Hello and welcome out to this week's episode of Gamers Council. I'm your host, WebDave, along with my co-host, RHETRI. What's up, RHETRI? How you doing, buddy?
Yo, what's going on, Dave? What's going on, chat? Welcome, guys, and welcome to the Black Viking. He's back.
He's
back.
Yeah, gang, baby.
What's up, Joe?
Load him up. Here we go. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be a good show, and we do have Gaming Forte joining us, but he had just left work, so he will be here probably in the next 15 minutes or so. So please stick around for that. We'll definitely be having him join the conversation as well. So RHETRI, man, what a crazy week, huh?
Sure. Yeah, all kinds of crazy shit happening. Some depressing stuff. Like we're gonna talk about layoffs in the industry and good and bad, different stuff that's going on. But yeah, man, it's gaming. There's ebb and flow. So we gotta talk about the bad along with the good. But yeah, we'll get into it.
There's a lot of good too.
There's plenty of good. You know what I mean? I don't want to make it sound like there's some dark cloud over us. As an Xbox gamer, I think we're sitting real pretty over here, and we'll definitely get into that as well. But shout out to Black Viking for being here, though, because we were on or invited, I should say, to Colt Eastwood's Discord. So I get, which is funny that I got invited because I thought I was too toxic for him to invite me to anything like that. So shout out to Colt for doing that. I appreciate that. Then I saw Viking in there and he's like, RHETRI, what's good? We started talking, just me and Viking just talking back and forth in Colt's thing. And he's like, when can I come back? I'm like, let me check. How about next week? Or this week, actually. I think it was this week. Yeah. So that was good. Yeah, he's like, I haven't talked to you in a while. I'm like, let's do it, man. You got an open invite, Viking. So here he is. He's here.
I appreciate that.
So
man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, thanks for y'all having me on again, man. For sure.
Absolutely, man.
I love doing this shit, man. Plus, I love you guys. So it's cool.
Yeah,
thanks, man.
It's a lot of fun.
Well, I think we spoiled him with this first episode. We had him and Randall Thor 19 on there.
Oh yeah,
that's true. Yeah,
he was like
came out the gate swinging. Yeah.
But the thing is, Viking, is that dude, like I told you after your first appearance, man, it's like you are just absolutely amazing and a great asset to this community, and I'm so happy for you and all the things that are coming your way now, and I really think that just keep at it, man, and you are going to be I mean, to me, you're already up there with the Iron Lords. So you
y'all need to calm down with that comparison, man.
He is giving you flowers.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, we love having you here, man. So and your show is absolutely a gem. Something else I would like to do at some point, in the future. Your two co-hosts.
Yeah.
Some night maybe we could have them on this show, like all the whole
100%.
Your crew. Join us, and we'll just have a kind of a crossover, have fun kind of night. How's that sound?
We'll raid you. That'd be cool.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. All right, cool. We'll set that up for the future. RHETRI, what do you got on the agenda, sir?
We'll start off asking Viking the usual question we ask everybody. Games he's been playing, any movies and TV shows that have caught his interest as of late. We'll start with gaming, of course.
All right, so gaming, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, man. Been
okay, cool.
15 hours in already. Still on chapter 4 still, I believe. But
on your PlayStation or
PlayStation, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only way to play it.
I know.
For now.
But no, I'm enjoying it. But what I will say, man, is I tweeted about this. I don't, as good of a game that it is, right? I'm playing it at 30 FPS because that's the only playable way to play it. I don't want to hear nothing else from that community about textures, asset pop-ins, NPC models, 30 FPS. I don't want to hear nothing else.
Now it's okay.
About it. Now it's okay. It's always been okay, right? Like you can nitpick any game, right? But it just seems like whenever it's, on the green team, they nitpick it the hardest.
Then it's a no. Yeah.
Right? Like, there's a reason why you don't see very much gameplay of that game on Twitter. It's usually a cutscene.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
I haven't seen much of it, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
like and maybe it's just the people I'm following, but I haven't seen a lot of Final Fantasy out there.
There's not very
much.
It's very fun. The progression system's good. The combat was expanded drastically, so like to me, it feels like a brand new game versus remake. So I fuck with it. It's just that oh shit, I forgot. Can I curse on this show?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Fuck no, you can't curse. What the fuck do you think this is?
Okay with the cursing.
All right, great. Fucking great. All right.
Do your thing.
But yeah, man, I don't want to see no more complaining about some of the stuff people used to complain about for certain titles, man. I just don't. I really like.
Yeah, keep that same energy. Right?
I'm done with it, dude. Like 30 FPS is pretty much the only way to play the game, in my opinion. Because going to 60, holy, like yeah,
I heard it's a mess.
The fluidity is good, but like, it looks like maybe a beginning stages of the PS4 game. Like it's crazy looking. But yeah, man, I'm having a good time with it. But like I said, I don't want to hear shit else about 30 FPS or any of that other stuff. So,
I mean, I gotta like. I'm not trying to like push back on that, but I don't want to play games in 30 frames per second.
Right,
like, you know what I mean? Like we were sold kind of a bill of goods, and these devs are just not using the tools to get the job done. It's strange to me. I mean, it's not like Rebirth has been sitting, they've been making it for a long time. So I don't understand how in 2024 we're still getting 30 frames per second games. It's slightly annoying.
Yeah.
I rather see 1440p. Like as a lot of PC gamers know, majority used to be on 1080p, now probably 1440p. We're okay with 1440p. Like a lot of us are okay with that. Like I'd rather get 60 frames per second and get 1440p than 4K and a shit ton of pop in and 60 frames if you're lucky, according to Digital Foundry. But
Yeah, no, I agree with you. There's something going on with, I don't know if it's like the new engines that they're using and not being used to it, or I don't know what it is, honestly. I don't know if it's the hardware aspect. Really don't know. Some developers are able to do it. I don't know how much more time they're taking on getting that 4K 60 or 1440p 60. I really don't know. But, we're going to talk. I mean, you guys sent me the list of what we're going to talk about. I think that Microsoft super resolution thing,
right?
Like whenever it comes to DLSS and FSR and stuff, I think all that stuff will be used in the future to help with that. But yeah, we are always so like 4K 60 when you're never getting native 4K 60 on those things.
Yeah, probably not native. Yeah, native is probably thing of the past at this point, which is fine. Like, because I don't think your average person could tell the difference between upscaled or native, anyways.
Right.
But and I'm fine with it. I'm a frames guy over resolution.
Yeah.
Personally, some people are want that pretty resolution, that 4K, and I get it. I like pretty games too, but for me, I'll take those frames every time, especially if it's like a combat game or if it's fast paced. If it's slower paced, that's fine.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but any movies or TV shows or anything like that you've been watching that you're into right now, or?
I just finished Gen V.
Oh, nice.
And then I started up Tokyo Vice, which is pretty dope so far.
Yeah.
So Tokyo Vice is cool.
Yeah. I watched Gen V. That was surprisingly good. I actually thought it was going to be terrible, and then I watched it. I was like, okay, no, this is more of the same. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it definitely is. I kind of thought, Viking, that they were going to, how do I say this? like CW it, like just like tone it way down. I thought it was going to be more of a for like teenager type of. They did not. They did not at all. They didn't tone it down at all. And I was like, okay, phew, good. Yeah. So very, very good show. Dave, what about you, man? What have you been playing? Any movies and TV shows for yourself?
Let's see. I've been okay. So I didn't have to, but I wanted to. I rewatched the complete series of Avatar: The Last Airbender. It was so good. I've seen it twice now.
Very good.
Dude, that show is so awesome, and I can.
It is really good
for the next 2 seasons. So excited. But yeah, and then game wise, man, I've been playing Power World, and then some Power World and
Game of the Year, baby.
Power World. Exactly. Now
it's good.
Monday night, me, my son, and my daughter were all going to play the Final Fantasy 14. Set up a new character, everything for the free to play thing, and they already have multiple maxed out characters. Both of them do, so they're going to basically carry me for a couple levels and get me set up so that I'll be in a good place, and then that way I can kind of play with the fam. So that'll be fun. Look forward to that. There you go.
Yeah, 100%. Paris in the chat. I see you.
Speaking
I see
of
you sneaking in there.
Avatar, have you guys watched the Netflix?
Yeah, I think that's what he was talking about.
Yeah,
right?
that's it.
That's what you watched. I thought you were talking about the cartoon because I know. Cartoon's banging. But
it is.
Okay, yeah. All right, cool.
What's up, I already finished it. Like within days, I binged the hell out of the Avatar thing on Netflix. Yeah. I thought it was really good. Like just like I thought One Piece was really good. Before that, I made fun of it. I was like, the One Piece live action, that is going to be doo-doo. I was wrong. Happily, I was very wrong. I thought it was great. I thought they nailed it. Same thing. Well, I don't have any past with. I've watched Airbender the animation, but I watched One Piece animation, not Airbender. I haven't watched that, so I don't know anything about the characters. I don't know what to expect, but the live action series I thought was fire. I thought it was pretty damn good. So cool. Yeah. But what's going on, guys? Yeah, what's up, Galvinson? What's up, Amit? We got Shaun T in here as well. He says Shogun is fire. I have watched the first episode of Shogun, and it's good. It's very. I feel like I'm watching a movie when I'm watching that. So yeah, very good show. Pretty cool stuff.
There you go.
There.
And FARQ. I just have to say this. FARQ.
Is he in here? I didn't see him.
What do you mean is he in here? He's a moderator now,
here, but
man.
I know, but there he is. There he is. I see a
JK.
JK. I don't know who he was making fun of. Probably my hair. He usually talks shit about my hair, which is fine.
Wait, I'm sorry. What? You're what?
My lack of hair, I guess.
There he goes.
Yeah.
Just checking.
Bald is sexy. Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, check it out, Ghost Fixter. Shogun is definitely is cool, man. Definitely check it out. For me, I've been playing Dead Island 2. I'm still trying to finish it. Starting to think maybe as I get older, I'm getting worse at games because I'm dying a lot. I'm dying a lot in that game, man. I don't know what it is. I wanna think that these games are getting harder, but I think it's just I'm just getting worse. I don't know what it is, but fun as hell. I love that game. If you haven't tried Dead Island 2, it's on Game Pass. Give it a shot. I definitely think it's worth your time. A lot of fun. A lot of like cool environmental kills. A lot of like thinking ahead. You see a bunch of zombies, like how you're going to lay them out, how you're going to use the environment. You're going to use guns. You're going to use like melee weapons. And there's a lot of cool weapons in that game. So definitely
Did you happen to see the King David's post?
No, did you put something about Dead Island or?
Yeah, let me pull it up real quick.
I did not see it.
I saw his golden glizzy post.
I did, yeah. That was hard to miss that one. The golden glizzy awards coming soon.
Oh man, I thought I banked it, but I guess I did. It talked about it was basically he was like, I was real surprised that it has Alexa controls.
Oh, it does. Yes, I've been using it.
Yeah.
I did. I posted about
like,
that
what?
like a week ago.
Neat.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and what's cool is all you have to have is like an Amazon account. You don't have to have a physical Alexa. Crap. I got one right next to me. I probably shouldn't say that. You can't say, you could just basically, you connect your account and you just use your mic. So a lot of people were confused because they thought you were like yelling at your device. Like, no, that's not the thing. So you can actually, you can use Alexa and like kind of call over the zombies, or you can like switch guns on the fly. There's a bunch of different commands that you can do in game. Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. I know I can't remember. Someone else told me when I mentioned that it had that there was another game that did it before them, but sorry, I'm laughing at FARQ. RHETRI, you give me shit. I have the same hair. Yeah, right, exactly. We talked about this, FARQ. Yeah, you're just making fun of yourself. It's fine. I don't care. I don't have a choice at this point. I just shave my head because it's happening naturally, anyways. Homeless Bird says Dayline 2 is a blast. Amy's my zombie bashing Wafu versus the skill cards are fun to experiment and are the weapons and modifications. Yes, dude. The punching knuckles. I just got those. Like, I just got a really good set of knuckles. Holy F, those are so much fun. I absolutely agree with you. By the way, Homeless Bird, I love that name. I don't know why I get a kick out of that name, but
hey,
super funny.
Check that on screen there.
Oh, very nice. Bounty just gave away a bunch of memberships, or just became a member, I should say. I'm sorry, member for 5 months. He's joining the Droid. Yeah, he is the Gamers Council Droid membership and gifted 5 memberships as well. So I was correct. I just reversed.
Thank you, Bounty. We really appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate that, brother. So we did that for Talos, Spartan 661, Big Mad Mo, Guess Who 107, and Ghost Fixer. So thank you for that, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, absolutely.
Wagwan.
Give a shout out to him.
Exactly. Or if Pong Soul was here. Choo choo,
motherfucker. Yeah, absolutely.
Too funny. And now that means you have access to all the cool emojis. So if you want to, in honor of Dark Griggity, you can hit the newest add-on that we did, which was the TTS.
I don't know. Oh, it's TTS. Okay, I thought you did a different one. Okay, yeah.
Talk that shit.
Well, we do. Yeah. I put myself, like, I almost like thinking myself as not a fanboy, but I guess I am, because a lot of people keep saying that, like, I say, bleed green. So I guess, talk that shit. Absolutely. We do talk that shit a lot. So
hell yeah.
That's how
RHETRI, if you like Xbox, you're a fanboy. That's just how they put it.
Guilty as shit. I know. You're right. You can't. Yeah.
You can't escape it.
You cannot escape it. 100%. I'm fine with it. I don't care. It's supposed to be offensive, but I'm just like,
whatever.
That's me. I dip in the console war shit a little bit. Yeah, I poke the bear sometimes. Sometimes I fuck with the PlayStation guys. I can't help it. Usually I stay out of it. I try to.
I got a few clips for later.
Not on this podcast. I don't. Not on this podcast. All gloves are off. But on my Twitter, I'm a little more PC, I guess. Sometimes.
How's it going to be on your new show, though? That's what I'm curious about.
It's gonna be worse. You think I'm bad on this one? I'm gonna be much worse. Gloves are like 90% off over here. They're gonna be 100% off on my new show. It's it's gonna be a lot of people who hate me. That's fine.
Super chat there if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. Andy Hart with the $5. I don't know if I recognize that name. So if you're new here, Andy, welcome, brother. Started Final Fantasy Rebirth this weekend. Excellent. He says also watching House of Cards. There you go. Old one, but still holds up nearly 2 seasons. And yeah, House of Cards was a great show, man. Too bad what's his name got in some trouble there. I always hate, dude. It always happens. You're here like every time. My heroes
Kevin
are always
Spacey?
like, yes, man. He's one of the best actors ever, Spacey, you done fucked up. But anyways, great show. Glad you're enjoying it, man. I'm glad you're enjoying your Final Fantasy Rebirth as well. I'm not a big Final Fantasy guy. I haven't played. I want to. I want to get in. I want to see what the fuss is about. I still have to play 14. It's out there. It's free. I got to try it out. I know it's old, so I don't know how well that's going to hold up. But
that's a good one to read too, by the way.
Yeah, Amit says, and Amit, I hope. Look, I'm famous for butchering names. I hope I'm saying your name correct. Amit, or I think it's Amit. Nothing wrong with being a fanboy / fangirl. I just find it annoying when neutrals pretend like they're not a fan of something. Yeah, absolutely. You know, to the opposite of that too, like. You know, there's a lot of us Xbox gamers also have PlayStation games, and anytime I mention I'm playing a PlayStation game, I get shit from Xbox guys. Like, I'm not allowed to play those games. I gotta toe the line, and I gotta stay Team Green 100% of the time. I don't do that. I play games anywhere, except for mobile because the experience kind of sucks. But it says Paris says put FF7 Rebirth on Xbox and PC. Those are dangerous words you're saying, Paris.
No,
I heard
amen.
Heard you got a lot of shit for speaking your truth. Yeah,
man, people had whole podcasts about that man.
Okay. Can you say who it was? Because I don't. Or do you want to not say?
Yeah, I think.
You can throw them under the. Oh, you can throw them under the bus.
He's trash.
And then Porter Rock.
Oh,
all right,
more trash.
All right, well, all right. Not surprising.
God,
they both had just like dude. Let
just
this
like
man live.
like based off of Paris saying that it should Paris saying that it should be there. See how much clout you have, Paris, out here.
We love Paris Lily.
We love Paris.
Amazing.
We're just talking about that in the green room. That like a guy like Paris. It doesn't matter what he says. He's gonna get shit for it. He could say the nicest thing ever. He'd be like, I love golden retriever puppies. And someone's going to be like, fuck puppies. Fuck you, Paris. I don't like them. Like you can't win.
Or they'll go back 5 years in his tweets to show that he liked Rottweilers in 2017.
Exactly. Like you can't, there's no winning out here on the streets of Twitter and the internet. So shout out to you, Paris.
And of course somebody will probably clip like they did last week's show where you said, I hate Paris. And they'll just
it'll be just that. It'll be just that. Yeah, like that.
Goodness.
Yeah, we had that piece of trash clipper show and try to pull the racism card on us. I was like,
yeah, exactly.
Get the fuck out of here, you idiot. But anyways, Shaun T just read up for 2 months. Says thank you, Dave and RHETRI, for cultivating such an awesome community. My favorite podcast to live chat in. Absolutely, thank you, Shaun.
Thank you, sir. Welcome.
Seeing you around lately, I super appreciate your support, brother. And I also saw you on Fonz's chat too earlier. I was sneaking in and seeing what's going on. I was lurking. I didn't say nothing. I was just listening. See what's going on.
I always say that. I was like, what's up?
Yeah. But yeah, Fonz's good dude. I saw Fonz and Colt chatting it up over there. I don't know if they're still probably still going right now, right?
I think they're still going. Yeah.
Hey,
RHETRI, I do want to call. I know as one of our topics.
Yeah, go for it.
Look behind me.
Do you think? Dune. Well, I just wanted to. It was literally like a one-liner. I am really excited to watch Dune, and I just wanted to talk about it for like a minute. Like Dune 2 is like I think beating Dune 1 by like double the amount. I think they've already taken in like twice as much as Dune 1 has. I think it looks great. Some people, when I would put it on Twitter, I'm like, Dune 2's got like whatever 95% on Rotten Tomatoes, and people are like, part 1 was so boring. I was like, fuck you guys. I think it was a great movie.
I loved it.
But thank you.
Phenomenal.
Dune was
my daughter
amazing,
works in the movie theater.
Absolutely.
My daughter works at the movie theater, and the other night she's like, oh, hey, I got you something. I was like, oh, really? What's it? Because they put up the actual theatrical poster when the movie came out, so she gave me the teaser poster. Oh, nice. And I'm like, that's awesome. So when I get the other poster too, right? He's like,
yeah, exactly. Right.
We'll see, Dad. We'll see.
Where's my other poster?
Exactly. Ungrateful bastard.
Viking, are you a Dune guy? Do you or did you think the other one was boring too?
Well, I need to still watch them.
Okay,
fair enough. Fair
enough.
Yeah, I think you'll like it, man. So the cast is amazing.
The cast is dope.
Cast is really good.
If Zendaya's in it, I'm watching it.
Are you a Zendaya simp?
Well, no. I love her acting.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, she's great. What's that show? Oh my god,
Euphoria?
I love this show and I can't think. Yep, thank you.
Bruh,
I try to get other people to. Dude,
the
Euphoria
whole
is
cast,
so
the
good.
whole cast murders.
It's so
bruh.
good.
Murders. Like, I can't believe how good the acting is. Like, from top to bottom, everybody's so damn.
You know
good.
what it kind of reminds me of? I don't know. I guess I like as someone who's had in my past wasn't great, who's dealt with like drugs and all this shit. It kind of that show. It hits it. It's very spot on in my opinion.
Me and my wife was talking about that. I was like, if somebody has like previously gone through some shit like that, this can be very triggering.
It is a little triggering for me. It gives me a little PTSD, but it's like it reminds me of what I was like, what fucking not to do, what not to go back to. And it kind of reminds me of like Basketball Diaries. If anyone watched that movie back in the day, which is extremely messed up, but fantastic film. Yeah, definitely shout out to that actress. Yeah. She's awesome. So yeah, Dune. We're all well, me and this guy are Dune fans, obviously. So, but yeah, definitely give it a try, Viking. I think you'll like it. I think it'll definitely be up your alley.
You will not be disappointed. And if you have Max, it's back on Max right now, so for free to watch.
So like movies like that, I always have to go like 4K Blu-ray. Like so,
fair enough.
You got to get the full experience. Yeah. I'd imagine it must be out. It must be out on Blu-ray right now.
Yeah, it is.
It's been out for a while. Yeah.
That was one of those movies that unfortunately got hit with the pandemic, and that's of course the director was absolutely pissed that they just threw it right on the streaming service.
I mean, I was happy.
Oh yeah, we were. I loved it. Yeah. So, but I get his point, especially when the second one comes out and it's doing so good. You're like, I wonder what the first one would have done.
The first one could have done. Yeah, 100%, 100%.
Shout out to legendary Yobi too in the chat and everybody else over.
What's up, Yobi?
Over 100 people in the chat. So thanks for being here, buddy. Appreciate you.
I like what Yobi said. Look, Yobi did contact me directly after that last show, and he's like, "I'm sorry about what I said." I was like, "No, do not be sorry. What you said was fine in the context. Griggity is fine with it. He knows. Like it was just that guy was just trying to get a gotcha moment and make us all look like a bunch of assholes."
That shit made me so mad when I saw that clip, bro. Like I was like, he knows what's going on.
He fucking knows. He absolutely knows that none of this shit is not to be taken seriously. He knows there's no fucking racial bullshit going on in the show. He fucking knows that, and he clipped it anyways for a gotcha moment. That's why the next time he's in here, I'm murking him right away. He's not gonna have a chance to put any bullshit on in the chat and clip us. So if anyone does see him pop in here or any of his other BS accounts I'm sure he made, please let us know. Mods, instantly get rid of him. I don't want to deal with his bullshit because his audience ate it up.
Yeah.
Viking,
what were you saying, man?
No, that shit was infuriating. Like for one, I'm really supportive. This is a race thing, of course, but I'm super supportive of all my brothers and sisters that are in the space doing it because there's not very many of us, right?
Right.
And I feel like the representation needs to be there. Our voices need to be heard and all that.
100%.
So when I see one, even if you're on the other side, PlayStation, none of that shit matters to me at that point, right? Whenever I see one try to tear another one down and try to make them look bad, bro, I don't fuck with that.
It's crossing a line, dude.
You know what I mean? And that's just my own personal shit, man. Because I want all my brothers and sisters to succeed within this space.
Amen.
And that shit was just so trash, bro. It was so trash.
Yeah, honestly, I think it bothered me more than Dirt. It just rolled right off him. He's like, "Yeah, he's a piece of shit. I don't fucking care." That's why I let Dirt. No fucks are given, man. I was like, okay, cool.
Welcome, Post Up.
Yeah. What's up, Post? What's going on, brother? Yeah. Thank you for having me on last night, Post. That we had a lot of laughs. That was a lot of fun last night.
You were on there with Doom Cutie, right?
Yeah. Me and the Doom talking.
And Doom Cutie is going to be one of our guests next week. So there you go.
100%. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All right. Let's start getting into these topics. Hopefully Forte will be joining us shortly. But I wanted to at least mention what's going on with Microsoft debuting this new Direct SR, I should say, this super resolution graphics tech that's going to be shown at GDC later this month. I think it's March 21st is when that is. So super resolution tech, this is going to be using machine learning to enhance visuals and performance in scenarios where raw graphical power isn't always available. So NVIDIA DLSS is the most famous solution, although Intel's XeSS and AMD's Fidelity FX have also gained ground. It says now Microsoft is joining the fray with DirectSR as part of the DirectX 12 suite. Microsoft will demonstrate DirectSR in more details at GDC 2024 on March 21st, like I was saying earlier, and says that an API will unify the different solutions on Windows with a single code path. Now, the problem with DLSS and AMD's things is that it's kind of up to the actual developers if they're going to implement this stuff into their games. So a lot of these, you hear about this cool tech with DLSS and whatnot, better resolution, upscaling resolution and keeping your frame rate at 60 or whatnot. It all sounds great, but if the dev doesn't do it, then you don't get it, right? So then we kind of go back to the whole performance issue on PC and how it's just been kind of a cluster fuck, really, for the last few years. But this is hopefully a solution Microsoft is trying to do is just basically use one code to rule them all, essentially. At least that's what I'm getting out of it. It sounds like this is going to make it a little bit easier for developers to just use this one code instead of having to code for DLSS and all the other technologies that are there to make the games run good on different chips, essentially, like Intel, AMD versus NVIDIA. So this should be coming out hopefully soon. It'll definitely be out for DX12. Maybe this can help our little potato known as the Series S. The Series S gets so much hate. This would be a nice tool for people to use to hopefully. I just got like a random little bug flying in here. A great tool for people to use, developers to use to keep those frame rates up and just upscale the resolution itself. But have you seen any of this stuff, Viking? Have you read about this new technology that's coming out? What's your take on this?
It'd be really interesting to if they do make it to where it's just pretty much one flip of the switch, and then you can use FSR3 and DLSS and all that stuff, right? Like with just one code. That would be actually pretty sweet in terms of I see somebody said, devs being lazy is making me mad or whatever. I don't know if it's the devs being lazy. And the reason why is because they always have a boss that, at this time, you need to release the game, period. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
yeah.
You work on
it's the higher ups. Yeah. It's not the devs. It's the bosses. Right. Yeah, it's the CEOs that are we got, yeah, we got to make that money.
I used to be like that. I used to be like these devs. And then you just start following the money, and it's usually publishers and the shareholders that are making most of these horrible ass decisions. You know what I mean? Because the devs are trying to do their best. They're trying to create art that all of us want to enjoy. So what this super resolution thing can do that from what Microsoft is doing, not only work with PCs, but console as well, right? Maybe in the future, the target for developers won't be so high, right? It won't be trying to output 4K and hopefully it's 30 frames per second or whatever. Maybe they can start to where it's all right, so we're going to try to hit 1080p or 1440p and have it upscaled using this new thing. And that would cut down drastically on development time, right? Which would also save money, which will also, we're probably going to talk about the layoffs today, which will probably save a lot of people from being laid off because they're able to meet their timelines and get games out quick. and probably not have as many people from the onset to develop said game. But no, I'm all
I mean,
for,
I didn't. That's a good point, Viking.
Yeah.
I didn't really think of it in the. Well, I mean, obviously it's a time-saving feature, but like maybe get these games out a little bit quicker because
right.
As we'll probably talk about later, these inflated budgets in AAA is getting out of hand.
You can keep a team pretty steady. Let's say like 100 developers on a game, because usually what happens is you'll have 250 developers on a team, let's just say, right? And then once the game's released, 50 of them are no use anymore, right? So you'll lay off 50 because the game's already out, right? And we're just trying to, patch, and keep the game steady or whatever. So you don't need the large team. But maybe I think what a lot of these studios are looking into is, how do we keep the same team for a very long time all the time? You know what I mean? So that we're not overinflating our studio team, and then when the game releases, do the horrible thing of letting 8% go. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because like you're building I'm gonna save that for later. We're going to talk about the layoffs and all that stuff later. But as far as the super resolution thing, I think those are my initial thoughts.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, it's another one of those things that sounds good, just like DLSS did, and FSR3 and all these, AMD's technology and Intel's technology. They all sound great, but again, like if they're not using it, if they're not putting it into the game, then it doesn't matter. Then none of this matters. I know like DLSS, the issue with that is you have to have at least a 2000 series card or more. And if you want DLSS 3, you got to have a 4000 series card. So you're literally getting rid of 95% of most gamers because they just haven't upgraded to the latest tech,
most
which
people
is understandable.
1080s.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of these people aren't seeing any of this stuff.
Yeah.
But I love technology. It's interesting to see these leaps, and it's nice to see that at least Microsoft is trying to come up with a solution that solves all three of those manufacturers, the issues, or at least the issues for the developers to fix this problem, and you don't have to code three different times, the same game to get those technologies working within your game. So love to see it, man. Love to see this sort of stuff. Abdel114 just joined up for a month. He says, I'm all digital on Xbox, still dis on PS5. He's doing exactly what I'm doing. Because that's going to be because it's going to be a collector's item. #, no PS6. So, shout out to RHETRI. Most ghetto. Gee, thanks. I think that was a compliment. Most ghetto podcaster in space. Talk that shit, y'all. I saw you last night, Abdel, in the chat. Shout out to you, man.
Awesome.
Yeah. People said I'm from the streets. Too many of you watched that C Money episode with me and know way too much about my past. I should not have divulged all the shit I did on C Money show, but I did. Yeah, mistakes were made. The internet is forever. Oops. Thank you, Abdel. Love you, man. Dave, you got anything you want to add to this whole this whole upscaling technology that Microsoft is talking about?
I mean,
does this excite you?
It's win-win for us, man. That's great. It's fantastic. And it's like, if it makes it easier for them to program games, then hopefully we'll be able to get games out maybe a little faster, maybe a little,
less janky.
Yeah, well,
a little less cyberpunky.
Well, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. So maybe the more finished or polished when it comes out kind of thing. Would be nice. And it's something that the anything they can do to improve is a plus. It's a good thing. So it's not like and it sounds like the way they're going about it, that it's going to be able to, multiple different, types of, programming all at once kind of thing. Kind of makes it easier on them without having to just, oh, we got to work on this. We got to work on this. We got to work on this. It's like, oh, we do this and it fixes all of this part. That's another, big thing about this, in the future, whatever it's going to be as far as AI and gaming, which it's different. A lot of people are like, what's going to change this? No, we're not talking about acting. We're talking about the AI that's going to help the resources go where they need to go better to expand and grow the performance without having the taxing the system as much. That's where the technology is really going to benefit all gaming systems, I think, in the future. And
absolutely,
I'm all for it, man. 1,000% excited. So excited for the future of gaming. And right now it's pretty damn good too.
Man, yes.
I mean, I'm sorry, I'm just laughing because right when you said that, my transition was Sony lays off 900 people. I was just like,
good morning.
Yes, we're at best time in gaming ever. Sony lays off 900 people, and it's not. I'm not just going after. I'm not just talking shit about Sony. This is terrible. It's never good news when anybody gets laid off. We just had that happen. 1,900 people. With Activision and Blizzard. We've talked about that. We didn't shy away from that because it's not all roses everywhere, but we understand why this is happening. And I said on a video a long time ago and people were like, oh, Sony's not doing it. And I told them to wait because here we are. Everybody's doing it. You know what I mean? It's a sign. It's a sign of the times.
And it's not just gaming. It's everywhere.
And it's not. It's everywhere, man. It's rampant. It literally happened to poor Dave. Yeah, luckily Dave was able to bounce back and find another job. But you know how it is. So let me get on this fantastic news. Sony's laying off 900 PlayStation employees. Sony's PlayStation London studio is closing down as part of the layoffs. Sony says it's laying off around 900 employees of its PlayStation division, a reduction of its global headcount of around 8%. If that percentage sounds familiar to you, that's about around the exact same percent as what happened to Xbox recently. Sony layoffs will impact a variety of its PlayStation studios, including Insomniac Games, Naughty Dog, Guerrilla Games, and Firespray. All their most successful studios they have over there, not susceptible to layoffs apparently. So Sony's layoffs are the latest in a wave that has been impacting the gaming and tech industries through 2024. Let's see. This is a Jim Ryan quote. I'm not reading that bullshit. Several PlayStation studios are affected. It's just one of those things to his own employees and it's whatever. It's we had to do it. Several PlayStation studios are affected, with Sony closing its London studio in the UK, which developed PlayStation VR games. I am so glad I did not get that PlayStation VR because man, that whole feeling of them not supporting it feels like it's coming true.
RHETRI,
go ahead, brother.
The first sign of was like this is not a good purchase was they said that your PSVR 1 games were not coming.
That's what did it for me, and Viking.
I was like,
that's what did it.
I have to rebuy all my games.
Yes, you do.
Hell no. Absolutely not. Yeah.
I love that you brought that up. That was because I was this close from buying it, and then when I heard that, I'm like, I'm not giving this company money for when you take away backwards compatibility. It's bullshit. They can do it. They just chose not to. This is why. This is one of the reasons. Right.
If the Quest can do it, why can't you?
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
They just chose not to. They just wanted you to double dip. Yeah. So Sony's Firesprite Studio, which is also impacted, is the British studio behind PlayStation VR's Horizon Call of the Mountain game. Sony revealed last week that it's working on PSVR 2 support for PC. Timing is spectacular. Yeah. In a separate note, Herman Hulse, head of PlayStation Studios, confirmed U.S.-based studios like Insomniac Games and Naughty Dog are also affected, alongside Sony's Guerrilla Studio, based in the Netherlands. Overall, employees across Americas, Japan, and the APAC regions will all be impacted. After this is one of his quotes. This says the layoffs come just days after Sony missed a PS5 sales target, which led to the Sony stock plummeting by 10 billion. While the PS5 outlook wasn't what Sony was expecting, analysts also pointed out toward a near decade low games margin. That's to be the most important thing, the most important takeaway when you're looking at Sony's business that people really need to pay attention to is not their revenue, the margin. That's what matters. Suggesting that the cost of making games is eating into Sony's gaming margins. And we saw the president, Hiroki Totoki, still I love that fucking name.
Me too.
It just rolls off the tongue. It's so awesome. Discussed the opportunity to grow PlayStation games on PC earlier this month. And it looks like Sony is throwing more resources at its PC and mobile effort.
What mobile effort do they
that?
have? What mobile?
I know they have something, but I can never remember what the hell it is. I can't. If anyone in chat remembers what PlayStation has under them that is in the mobile space, please put it in there because there's something, but I don't think it's anything.
It's not Candy Crush, right?
No, it's nothing. It's nothing even remotely close to what Microsoft has under their belt. But I mean, it would be the right move for Sony. I mean, that's where the money is, right? For them to go into mobile gaming. But it just things are changing, man. We've been getting hints of it. You guys, Ryan said you're not enough. You guys are not enough. We've gotten hits from Xbox that putting games on the Switch and PlayStation. The game's going in a lot of different directions, I think, is just going to be the norm. And here, it's always going to take Sony much longer, I think, to do it. They're always going to be behind. Like Microsoft does it. It's a terrible idea when Microsoft does it. Stupid. And the millisecond PlayStation does it, it's fine. You know what I mean? And they will do it. Like PC day and date. We saw it happen with Helldivers. I think we're going to see it happen more and more on PC, starting with PC and possibly, who knows, maybe Xbox, maybe Switch. I don't know. But what do you guys think of these Sony layoffs? I'll go to you, Viking, first. Like, what do you think about this? Do you think like this has to do with COVID over hiring? Do you think this is just them with their AAA budgets just being too overblown?
No, I honestly don't think it's if it's COVID over hiring, is probably very minimal. I think this has everything to do with COVID money they were getting during COVID in terms of how much the gaming space grew in terms of revenue profits, because everybody was at home spending a lot of money. And the one thing you don't want to show your shareholders is no matter what the reason is a decrease in profits or revenue.
Yeah.
Right. So they are more importantly than the 900 employees, because like we don't know where they're going to rehire at. Right. So they might fire 900 employees from these various studios, but then is it Nixie's that does their PC ports?
Mm-hmm.
But then beef up 600 employees at Nixie's to start getting these games out day and date, or even their back catalog games out to PC because so like it's not going to be probably a net 900 over the year, right, of employees lost. It's probably going to be like negative 300 or probably in the positive by the end of the year.
You think so?
I think so.
I think it could be. I think there could be another round. I
agree.
You know
I think there will be another round. I just think that they're going to be hiring in other places because they see how the PC market has grown, right? And Hiroki Totoki is a money guy, right? He's like, all right, our shareholders aren't happy with these margins. Why in the hell is an old Ratchet and Clank game just sitting on the shelves in our library when we can have it on PC?
Yeah.
Why, like an older Ratchet and Clank, right? Why is God of War 1, 2, and 3 sitting on the shelves?
Or even the latest Ratchet and Clank. It's
right.
not, it's still several years old. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. Like, why are all these games that we have that we own just sitting in our store when we can have them in multiple stores?
Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense. You're leaving money on the table, and
absolutely
Hiroki is a money guy, and he looks at that and is like, "Why in the hell is this shit not everywhere? Nobody's buying a PlayStation 5 or a PlayStation 5 Pro to play God of War 1, 2, and 3. Nobody.
Sure. Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Put it out on Steam so people can buy it. You know, there's the Steam sales go crazy
because that's where they're gonna buy it.
Yeah,
divers. Can't help myself.
Right?
Yeah.
So like, why not do that? Microsoft is seeing the same thing too, right? Which is, I think, why they're putting a lot of older games are doing that test, but they have already started doing, you know, the PC day and date. All their games are on PC, and now they're starting to shop it out even further, right? But this is what's going to happen in this space, because what happens with growth is it can never stop when you are a publicly traded company.
Exactly.
It can't stop.
This is what I think. I think that is what pisses a lot of the console guys off, because we just got to come to terms with there's a cap. We've hit it. The cap has stayed the same forever, and they've told us repeatedly it's not good enough. Console isn't good enough,
right?
And I think console guys get super pissed off at that, you know, about possibly losing exclusives and stuff like that, which I completely understand. But
like keep
going.
We have like, so I don't know if it's like right off the top of my head, but I'll try my best. Is that game prices from 2010 to now have increased 16%, right? U.S. average household, same time period, 35%. Gaming budgets, 127 to 335+% increase, right? They need their money back. Not only their money back, plus they need a return on that money that they spent, right? Which is
are you telling me they need to get their money back for Bungie? Is that?
Yo, bro, they put them on layaway, which is crazy anyway. But yeah, so and then like you're starting to see a lot of people cancel their the licensed IPs, right? Because like we saw through the leaks how egregious that shit is, right? Like not only does
how much money you got to give over to Disney,
50% on a bundle, like it is crazy the amount of money that you have to give back just to use your own IPs, right? Like there's nothing wrong with that, you know, which is absolutely crazy. Now WB, like Rocksteady, doesn't have to worry about, because WB owns them and they own the IP for anything that's DC related, right? Or you know, Mortal Kombat and all that other stuff, so they don't have to worry about that. But Jesus, man, like things are getting very expensive, very fast. AI is coming. Yeah. Not only with the hardware, AI is going to be coming to the developer as well. It's just everybody's waiting for the first company to do it so they don't take the hit.
Well, the funny thing is too is like a lot of people, like a lot of studios have already been using AI in some form for a long time.
Procedural generation.
Exactly. Yeah. That's AI, but it's not
your dialogue developer, or
that's when it became an issue, Viking, right? Because people were like, like the writers, like while the strike is going on and we're talking about this AI stuff, being able to write scripts essentially, and you know, like stuff for NPCs or whatever. And I think everyone kind of panicked. And we're like, shit, jobs. But I think like with this industry, it's like a lot of things. You got to lean into it, I think, and get to know the technology and save your job. And there will be new jobs created as well with this. There'll be experts in AI.
Right. Yeah. The AI machine's not going to be sitting in a room by itself. Like, you know, people are going to be managing it, looking over it, like nobody can take away, like, yes, AI can be creative, but it can't be as creative as a human. It just can't. You know what I mean?
Yet.
Like, not yet.
The more data the more data though you give that thing. Oh man. Yeah. It's getting scary. I've actually used a lot of it. So and the jumps I've seen in just 2 years.
Yeah.
It's blowing my mind. And I have an engineering background. I worked in television. I worked in technology every day for 19 years. And I've never in my life seen a faster leap of any technology faster than I've seen AI. It's unbelievably fast.
Yeah.
So it's,
once I see AI, the reason why I say it can't beat humans is because we all watched that Death Stranding trailer. Nothing. Kojima's fucking crazy.
I love that's where you go. I do.
Kojima's nuts. Mad creative. Right. When AI can start producing shit like that I've never seen, like the stop motion puppet in the or the hands fucking doing its thing, smoking this, like lighting the cigarette. Like when it does stuff like that, then okay, we could talk. But like humans, you take a couple of shrooms, you know what I'm saying? Humans can be.
That's how he's doing it.
Humans can be crazy powerful when it comes to doing AI stuff. I mean, doing creative writing or vision,
absolutely.
Right? Like the AI is only as good as the data that it's getting, right? But humans can process shit and come up with really creative things that really nobody has seen. And Kojima
very true. Yeah,
Kojima is one of those examples because the dude's nuts when it comes to stuff like that.
I mean, I like what you're saying. I love that. Like when I love your retort to me saying AI is getting good. Let's go with Kojima because I was instantly like, he's right. Like I can't argue that. Like because AI needs information, right? So unless it gets the information from him, then AI literally goes fucking crazy as well. Goes for Kojima, which is very scary. I don't want that to happen. That is how we all die. But
my CPU is a learning computer.
Right, exactly. I love that's where you went with it. I can't go against that theory. But Dave, what's your take on the whole the job loss?
I promise
that we're
I will
seeing
not
at
kill
Sony?
anyone. Oh, sorry.
Talk about the Sony layoffs. I know. I love that movie.
Layoffs.
So good.
Layoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no layoffs. Oh my God, the job buttons. All right, good.
It's a part of business, man. It really is. Unfortunate part of business, but it is. Like I said, I'm definitely not, lessening or belittling or downplaying the severity of people losing jobs. It totally sucks. I lost mine last month. Luckily I had 3 months notice and severance and all kinds of stuff that I was able to parlay, as it were. And I was able to find a job. I was able to start my new job as soon as my other job ended because I had enough notice. So, change fields a little bit, but people will bounce back. Some of the horror stories out there are sad that people moved, locations and whatever, and uprooted the whole family and everything, and then all of a sudden it's like, and I get that, and that sucks. So I empathize with that.
Really, sorry, Webb. Like that's what's really interesting about the gaming industry is because you do have these, unless you're like in LA or in the Northeast,
Seattle, or
Seattle,
New York,
Northwest. Sorry. Like unless you're in one of those places, like there's studios everywhere. So you usually, because the remote stuff is kind of coming to an end, sadly. Like I wish it would, because people are more productive when they're at remote. But it sucks because you do have to move. Like this is your passion. You generally move to that location to work on a job, and sometimes you just be there for 2 years, man, and get that notice. And then what I feel bad about too, Webb, is that I don't know how their resumes work, because like if their project got canceled what do you have to show for it? Like, are you with under NDAs? Like how do you take your portfolio with you?
That's such a good point, Black Viking. I never really thought of that.
Like, all you can say is I can use this engine, this engine, but
right. But I mean, can you imagine being like 4 years into the job? This is your first job in the industry, and you have nothing to show for it. I love that you brought that up. That's a great point.
Well, there was that that one guy that kept forecasting a lot of stuff and saying that this was going to happen, which none of it did happen, by the way. Talking about the end of Xbox and all this kind of garbage, and his tagline was that he worked at such and such studio. And they're like, well, they don't see where you worked in studio. Well, I was under NDAs and the game I was working on, blah, blah, blah. And basically that was his excuse, that it was like, oh, you can't find me because, I was there though. Oh, okay, cool. I believe you. Who knows?
Yeah. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're not cutting, dude.
Had a thought. Sorry.
And that's what this show is all about, dude. You get it all. We want to hear from you. That's the whole point.
You got to get them out of your head because you'll forget it. Like that's why I interrupt people, because I'm like, I'll forget this 2 seconds later.
Then he doesn't like the sound of my voice, so he just interrupts me.
That's it. I see you, Red 410. Keep it up, brother. Keep saying what you're saying. You're gonna find yourself not here anymore. Anyways, yeah. So the Sony layoffs thing, that absolutely sucks. It's just not great for the industry as a whole. We obviously don't want to see anyone lose their jobs, that's for sure.
No, we definitely don't. But on that point, I'll just say that the industry is growing, and sometimes you close one door, it opens up another one for you. And a lot of times, the things that open up for you are something better or in the future, because the industry, if you look, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, gaming, as to what consoles were available, what games were being designed and made, and to where they're going in the future. And so there is endless growth and possibilities that can happen. And so I just don't feel, if somebody's down now, I don't think they're down and out. I think it's just you'll get back on your feet, because the industry has continued to grow. This industry is not stopping. It's not going to, over the toilet, it's all over with. No, gaming is here to stay, and it is the biggest entertainment industry in the world, bigger than movies and TV combined.
Yep, absolutely. It's certainly not going anywhere. To that point, Dave, because there's a lot of kind of doom and gloom about the industry as a whole, which I get. You see all these layoffs and people are like, shit, like what's happening? Do you guys think that we're gonna see a crash this year, like just catastrophic crash of the gaming industry? Because I gotta be honest with you, I don't see it. I see this as an ebb and flow situation where we know without a doubt ABK hired another 6,000 people around COVID. 6,000. We got the numbers. That's not up for debate. So I think this is like a course correction. Like, they wanted money. They got greedy. Demand went up. They met that demand. The demand is now down a little bit. It's dipped down to where it normally is. Pre-COVID numbers. Pre-COVID numbers. But do you guys think that there's this crash coming?
I don't at all. But Viking, what are your thoughts?
No, I don't think that there's like a gaming crash, like as an industry as a whole. No, I do feel like if these rounds of, because if I'm on the outside looking in and I want to do game development, and I look at the industry now, I'm like, no, fuck that. Like, I'm going to go do something else. Right.
I know. I said that a million times, Viking. Like, it's scary, dude.
It is. Like, I could just be let go at any moment. So like, y'all just mentioned that the gaming industry is, you said, twice as the size of TV and movies.
Yeah, well,
it's bigger than both of them combined, and it has been for a long time now. Yeah.
And what's crazy to me is that as far as worker rights are concerned, TVs and movies have those worker protections most of the time for the people who make things happen, right?
Yeah.
Where the gaming industry still does not. So like, I know everybody has different politics or whatever, and unionization is a dirty word to some people, but I 100% absolutely believe that is the route that these devs should take, man, because like I'm making your $1 billion games and you can let me go tomorrow
at any time.
At any time.
No protection.
And I get that a lot of people's jobs are the same way. I make a lot of money for my company. Whatever, right? But like, and I say this because I went to one of those lefty loony countries and stayed there for about 3.5 years in Norway, and their worker protections are insane. Like insane in a good way. Like, even me as a boss couldn't be mad at the worker protections that they had. I was like, that actually makes kind of sense. You know what I mean? Like, it was so nice, like out there, like to where people still did their jobs correctly. People were still very productive, but they didn't have all this stuff over their head to where like I could lose my job tomorrow, or like it's and even if they did, they'd be back at work like very soon, man. So yeah, MJ Dark said he lived in Norway for 6 months and loved it. It's the best goddamn country I've been to ever. Like,
cool.
It's so good.
Is it really that cool, huh?
Yeah. Yes. 100%. Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
Kids love it too.
I agree with you, Viking, on the whole on the unionization. I mean, I come from I was in a union for a long time in television, and look, I'm not here to say unions are 100% good or 100% bad. They definitely lie somewhere in the middle, but in this industry where it's just crazy, where you just don't know if you're going to have a job the next day, and your seniority now means jack shit. Apparently. Right. So like, you know what I mean? Like, you've been there forever, and you're like, you know, sometimes you're the first one they look at to get rid of because you cost the most, because you've gotten the raise over X amount of years. You're the threat when they want to save some cash. Yep. They look at you. So yeah.
Hey, RHETRI,
I think more guys have to unionize. Go ahead, Dave.
On that point, you know, I was with U.S. Bank for over 10 years, and you know, was the only one in the entire bank that did the job that I did. And, you know, 6 months before I lost my job, they acquired another bank, you know, and they're buying, you know, Union Bank brought it in. And the job I was doing was taken over by a guy who'd been doing his job for 20 years. So, you know, so it is what it is. I actually got other positions offered to me, but I thought, you know what, maybe it's time for a change. Been there for 10 years. Let's do something else. So that's what I'm doing now. So, but the point is, your seniority, you know, like I said, I thought I'm in pretty good shape.
Right.
Yeah.
Just never know. Get rid of the old guy.
You really don't. Yeah, you really don't ever know. It just kind of feels like no one's safe over there. So I understand, like, a lot of these people, especially like after that many people like leave a studio or something, like it's gotta be depressing when you're working there, dude, because you're looking left, you're looking right, you're like, am I next? Are you next? Like, who's safe? You know what I mean? So I agree with the Viking. They need something. We know that Microsoft, surprisingly, being the corporation that they are, said yes to unions. I thought that was huge. Something you just don't see some of the richest companies on the planet ever do. I would have lost a lot of money taking that bet. I would be like, no, Microsoft's not going to allow unions. That's crazy talk. But they did.
Hey, RHETRI, speaking of crazy talk, Red in our chat.
Yes, sir.
Dude, he says, Power World is dying right now. Are you high? Hey, what are you fucking smoking?
I'm trying to warn Red.
It's continue to grow. So that's okay. It's cool. You have your own opinions, but if you can't handle what numbers are, and that you know that it's dominating, then maybe you need to go listen to somebody else. I don't know.
Yeah, you gotta get your facts.
And Helldivers. No, actually, their numbers are starting to go down, buddy.
Yeah, we just saw that. I just saw that today that Helldivers is going down. By the way, I'm gonna get Helldivers.
Not
the
me.
one game the one thing shut the fuck up, Dave. It was the one game I was actually interested in out of all the Sony products, because I didn't think their new Silent Hill, I just didn't think it looked good. Like,
oh my god, that thing looks so bad, dude. Like,
I'm like, that's not my Silent Hill. That's not. I know some people are really looking forward to that, and the team making it made me nervous. I didn't like the medium. I thought that game was doo-doo. So when I heard they were making the new Silent Hill, I was like, oh crap. But I'm sure people will enjoy it, but yeah, not for me. But Helldivers, I think, looks interesting, but I'm waiting for them to get their shit together. I don't know if the servers it's still an issue, but
they're better now. Yeah.
They are better now.
I bought the game Super Bowl during the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
let it download and went to go play, couldn't play, and then I ended up like I couldn't get in. I think I did more waiting than I did playing, so I ended up returning it. But they beefed up the servers. I think it was at 450 cap. Now it's at 750, and they fixed the AFK issue. Like people were just staying in.
Oh,
knowing that it takes forever to come back on.
I'm kind of like I know a lot of people were pissed off, but I'm like, do you blame them for sticking around when the servers are shit? Like that's, I don't know.
Which at the time probably overinflated their numbers a bit, right? Because like people were just staying in.
Because if you're staying there, you're not going away. Yeah.
That. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta say one thing. Welcome out to the one and only Epic Treasure.
Epic Treasure.
Yeah, we're gonna try and have her back on sometime in the future when she's available. Right now, she is dominating Power World and all the and I watch every single one of her Power World.
Her bases,
dude, her bases are just legendary now.
When she put out her bases, I'm like, I'm not streaming mine. I'm like, her bases were so good. I'm like, mine's like a bunch of fucking sticks. It looks like shit. But anyways, yeah, shout out to Epic Treasure. We're definitely gonna have to get you back on here so you can talk that shit with us. But
exactly. She's amazing. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, here it comes. Here it comes. You can show MJ Dark's thing. And by the way, Red, I try to tell you, man, you fuck around, you find out on this podcast.
I took him out.
You found out. Yeah, I saw it. The thing said like he was timed out for 86 seconds. I'm like, what's that gonna do?
Yeah. That was 24 hours. Bye.
Oh, okay. All right. I guess I changed.
It was 86,000 seconds.
86. Oh, it was 80. Oh, it was 86,000. Okay.
RHETRI.
Right.
Math is hard.
See you later, buddy.
So you need to read that. You need to read that.
Here comes the slander. Maybe just remember for 1 month. It says RHETRI. Will you get Code Veronica remake? Black Viking, have you played Code Veronica? He just won't let this go. If so, did you like it? # trolling. LOL. Dark. I think I already told you this. I talk a lot of shit about Veronica, but if they do a remake, I'll get it. I'm not gonna stop at. I love all the remakes from Capcom, especially Resident Evil. They're so good. So yeah, but Viking, have you played Code Veronica? And did you think it was trash?
I don't play very many Resident Evil games, to be honest. Yeah. So
are you just not into? Are you not into horror games, like scary games, or you?
Yeah, I stopped playing them a long time ago. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I just don't play them anymore. Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
I shouldn't play it. I'm a complete pussy when I play those games, but I keep playing them. I do enjoy them.
Oh goodness.
Yeah. I see. FarQ says pew pew bye. Yeah, hey FarQ, like you remember, man, I know you don't want to abuse your powers, but you have them. So if you see someone, I'm fine. Like it's not about a difference of opinion. It's when you just won't shut the fuck up and everything you post is negative.
Yeah.
Then I take issue with it. Like if you're just here to just bash on Xbox in every single chat that you have, you're not welcome. You're not welcome here. Period. End of story. So appreciate you guys. Epic Treasure says would like to see Black Viking play Dead by Daylight. Not gonna lie. Yeah, I like that game too. That's a spooky one. Yeah, so we'll move on.
I'd be screaming the whole time, bro.
Dude, that's me too. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, when I stream stuff, like people want me to stream more, like, or stream again and stream like scary games, but it'll be very embarrassing if I do. But funny for the rest of you. So yeah, King Webb says at Black Viking, sup? What's going on,
What
King
up,
Webb?
man? Gang,
What's going on, brother?
We have such a great community. Almost 200 people in the chat right now. Thank you all so much for being here. If you get a chance, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed, and of course, in the description of this video, or if you're listening to the replay later on audio or video, then the description will have links and everything to Black Viking and his shows as well. And we still haven't heard from our buddy. Gaming Forte. He's supposed to be here.
Okay,
I think so. Most likely he just he got busy. People, massive amount of people trading in their PlayStation 5s probably. He works for GameStop, by the way. Just kidding. So that was humor. Hello, wake up,
hello.
Just kidding.
Sorry, I was reading Farq's thing. He said, I guess that guy was like a troll or something. So I didn't know. I didn't recognize his name. So I guess other people know him. But I just like insta block people like that. So, and then I move on with my day. All right. So let's move on to the next round of shit news. I'm so sorry, you guys.
we're gonna be short on this one, and then we're gonna get some good stuff.
Yeah, I swear it's something. I think I got some good stuff somewhere in here. EA to lay off around 670 workers, sunsetting games and moving away from future licensed IP. So Electronic Arts has announced that it too is undergoing a bunch of mass layoffs with plans to let go 5% of their total global staff, which is roughly about 670 individuals. So that sucks. So more job losses there. They since learned that EA is canceling the Respawn Star Wars FPS, and that is rumored to be
to have been
good point to have been past tense the Mandalorian game.
Oh, we don't know for sure.
We do not. That's still a rumor. I know. I think we said this last night that we kind of like. I didn't mean to make this sound like it was confirmed on Post Up's show, but this sucks, man. It sounded like the Mandalorian game was an FPS. It was supposed to be like fast action. You had your jetpack, like, and it's Respawn, like like the perfect studio to do an FPS in the Star Wars universe. Oh, is this depressing? But maybe I'm just, I'm a Star Wars fan, so maybe this bugs me more than it will bug a lot of other people. Some people were excited that within this, bad news that them going back to older IP. So some people were like Titanfall. Titanfall 3, which I don't hate that. Titanfall, one of the best shooters ever. But yeah, I don't know. Viking, what's your whole take on EA laying off some people and them saying that they're going to also get away from licensed IP? They said they want to. It sounds like they kind of want to stay safe. Stick with sports, some sports games, and IP that they can control.
Right.
But I think they're still sticking with the Black Panther game, and what was the other? The Iron Man game, I believe, is still in the works. But what's your take on this whole EA mess?
So with the Respawn, I wonder how many of those workers really go after canceling said game. Because I would get a lot more context out of the 670 workers. Thing. Plus EA I think EA will be fine. I mean, I feel of course horrible for the 670 employees, but EA I think will be fine. They have the new college football game coming out also. That's going to be a hit, and I wonder if that actually will cannibalize sales of Madden, because Madden has been so
the last Madden
trash.
People were that last
it's
one,
been
people
trash.
were not happy. Yeah.
It's been trash for like the last 7-8 years. Like it's just been the same thing over and over. And they would take away stuff, add them back in later years. Like Madden's been horrible. I think FIFA, like my son said, FIFA does some good things like every year with changing stuff up. But it's still like those grimy practices of the packs that you have to, the MUT packs and all that bullshit that
you're
people
right.
buy. But they'll be fine in terms of monetary. I really like the move. I wish a lot more people would move away from these licensed IPs. I think they're insanely, like, sometimes I don't know if the juice is worth the squeeze on some of them.
Right.
At, like, you look at the Avengers game.
Oh yeah.
That came out. Even like, if let's say Suicide Squad wasn't, but let's say Suicide Squad was a licensed IP. I mean, that would have been your money gone pretty much. I would like for a lot of these studios to dig back in their catalog, beef up their old IPs and make new IPs. As big of a risk new IPs can be, you could start them off at AA and see how they do, like with a smaller budget. And then if it gains good appeal or critic appeal, then give it that AAA budget. You know what I mean? Like, what's that Avion game that came out? Was that them that did that? What was the latest game?
Avion.
I'm
trying to think of. I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, it's not going to come to me. I know what you're talking about. I guess I was interested in that game, and then the ratings and stuff weren't that great on it, and I skipped it.
But that was an original. That was an original IP.
Immortals.
Right?
Immortals. Thank you.
Okay.
That was going to kill me. Yeah, Immortals of Avium. That's what it was. Yes.
That was I think it was a AAA game. I think the budget looked pretty wild.
I think it might have been. Yeah.
But it was a new IP, and I don't think for new IPs, unless you know it's going to be a banger, which nobody ever knows.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
I think we're going to see a trend of newer or original IPs being AA. If they do very well, then make the sequel of it a bigger budget, a AAA experience, or whatever. If the community has grown from that AA. So just like Helldivers, right? Helldivers was like a 1A game when the first one. This one got to like a AA type thing. And you can bet your ass if they come out with one in another 10 to 15 years, it will have a very, very beefed up budget. Because
you're probably right on that.
As long as, these live service games, they can die in an instant. But as long as they have a good roadmap, they probably didn't see the success coming, right? So they probably didn't have a large.
Them in Power World, I don't think either of them saw foretold this, coming their way.
But yeah, man, people pick up these AA games too because they're usually $40, and that is the best price point for games right now.
It's such a good price point. It's true. I mean, it's true. It kind of begs the question, Viking. Like, should everybody be scaling back with the games themselves? Like, we see like Hellblade 2, for instance, we know that's going to be
$50,
a short, $50 and a shorter actual like time length, time to beat experience in the game itself, which I gotta be, as getting older and lack of time, literally excited me. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, that's effed up, I don't want to, like, that's like, you're taking away. I was like, it's $50, a la Miles Morales, which is probably like one of my favorite, PlayStation games. I'm okay with these shorter experiences. To me, like, if it means everyone keeps their jobs and everybody stays in the industry and doesn't have to worry about getting laid off constantly, then pull it back, put some caps on these on these budgets, and make a game shorter. I don't need a Valhalla. I don't need a 1,000-hour game.
So I'll push back a little bit, RHETRI. Like,
go for it. Yeah, 100%.
You said for it being $50 a shorter experience. I'm glad that it's in Game Pass and it's a shorter experience.
Fair. Hey, I mean,
right? Like,
I'm a cheap guy, so you're speaking my language right now, Viking. Yeah. So absolutely.
So that's cool. Like, I like that. I typically, like, if the game is $70 or $60, I would like to know I can play that game for a very long time. Like, I'm cool with shorter games if the price point is there, or if it's in Game Pass, right? Because I feel like I get my
or if there's like a a multiplayer, for instance, like a lot of people hate it on COD, but in my head, I go, I'm going to put thousands of hours into that game. So when every time. So when it's $70, it's different for me than if it's like a single player one-off game and it's $70 and it's 10 hours long. Then I have an issue with length because I always look at the value, how far my dollar is going. You know what I'm saying? Pause. Thank you, Dave. That was a great pause. But yeah, let me get this super chat right here. Andy Hart with the $5 says, on the subject of layoffs, I have just been made redundant. 18 years of service, shock to the system. But on the bright side, I can finish games on PS5 and Series X. I'm sorry to hear that, man. I'm sorry to hear that. Absolutely sucks, brother.
But new doors open for you, man. Just remember that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So sometimes I've been laid off before. Sometimes like the shittiest things that happen in your life, I feel like are a blessing in disguise because you find the next best thing. And you're like, because my last job sucked. So yeah, this could be a good thing. You never know.
Put that in perspective. Yes. Okay, so like when my first wife wanted a divorce. I was devastated. It was terrible.
It's sad. Listen,
it was 2 days before Thanksgiving. I thought the world was over.
Right.
Fast forward 5 years
Christmas,
later,
mind you,
I met the woman of my dreams, and the rest is history. So,
boom,
shakalaka.
I heard a comedian say once. I love, watch yourself, Dave. I heard a comedian say there's no such thing as a bad divorce. And that's exactly. Yeah. You're getting divorced is usually a reason for it. So there you go.
What?
All right. So let's move on to, we obviously just talked about the Mando game going bye-bye. So that sucks. Also Embracer Group, set to sell off 2 major studios in big money deals. Oh, Embracer, the gift just keeps on giving. The huge game behemoth, I don't know if we can call them that anymore. Embracer Group has been trimming down significantly as of late, with some of its in-house studios even fully closed in the wake of a huge restructuring process at the company. And new reports are suggesting that a couple of the group's remaining studios are now in the midst of being sold off. According to Bloomberg, Saber Interactive is in the middle of a $500 million buyout deal to become privately owned. And according to Kotaku, Borderlands developer Gearbox is also in the process of being sold by Embracer Group. And as we know, we saw the information of Toys for Bob is going independent. So we're seeing a lot of independence happening. We'll start with kind of like the whole Toys for Bob situation. I'm just curious. There's a lot of theories. We don't have a lot of information of why this happened, like exactly what's really going on behind the scenes. Microsoft surprisingly hasn't even commented, or at least I haven't seen this. I haven't seen them comment on releasing Toys for Bob. Just their CEO and their guys like in charge over there talking about them going independent, which is that's the only thing that strikes this as being strange to me. But Viking, what's your whole take on all these guys going independent? I guess we can start off with Toys for Bob and like what does that mean to you as a gamer?
Can I start off in a different way? Like
anyway, absolutely,
just really quick,
100%.
Listen,
take it in a different direction.
Whoever's listening with a lot of money, look at Embracer. Please buy Gearbox, and please, for the love of God, I am begging you. Open up the servers for Battleborn. Just please. Just make the servers open again so I can play Battleborn again. Overwatch killed it when it first came out, but to me it was a superior game. Just open the servers. Embracer, if you got the money, open the servers. Just do it. Okay. I'm done with that.
Hey.
Okay.
Maybe they heard you. Maybe they heard you. Yeah.
If it happens next year, y'all know who to thank.
I called it. Yeah.
All right. For the Toys for Bob thing, I just find it really. I'm gonna get on the media's case for this really quick.
Sure, do it.
Toys for Bob at least was given a choice, right? Microsoft could have said we're shutting you down,
yeah,
or you're going independent, right? When it came to Sony for the London studio, they were like, we're just shutting you down. Not even giving an opportunity or a chance, shop them around, nothing like that. We're just shutting you down. And the media was crickets on that, and the media went straight for the Toys for Bob thing, right? Like, guys, come on. Which one was worse? Shutting the studio down or just letting the studio, like, listen, I know we all love Banjo, Spyro, like, all, you know what I mean? Like, we love those, right? But they did not buy ABK for Toys for Bob.
No.
Let's just be honest with ourselves.
No.
Okay? They did not. And with how everything has gone in the community the last couple of weeks about games going multi-platform, right? They probably saw that the juice wasn't worth the squeeze. I'm going to say it again, to make these smaller titles like Spyro, like Crash, or like Banjo and keep them on one platform, right? And if they release them on multiple platforms, could you imagine if they made a Banjo game, they announced it, and it's going to all consoles? People would lose their fucking mind.
Yeah.
Right?
We talked about this last night too. Like a conspiracy theory that this was to help Xbox save face by letting Toys for Bob be third party without Xbox getting any shit for being
100%.
Those games being everywhere.
Like we'll just because they still own Microsoft still owns the IPs. Now we'll just contract you out to make those games, and you can release them everywhere, and it has nothing to do with us. We won't get any flack for it or whatever. And it's just when it comes to those smaller titles, you know what I mean? As for, I'm glad everything's happening like with the studios that Embracer owns. Like, people just need to let those studios breathe and get out from underneath Embracer. Like, that has been a hot mess, and I hope they make a documentary about it one day. I
think they will. Like, it legit hurt my heart. Like, one of the games I was looking forward to that was under Embrace's umbrella from Free Radical was Time Splitters. It's a game that meant a lot to me, and we knew they were making a new one, and to see Free Radical just go away and even Volition, like with Saints Row, you see in these studios go away, and I'm like, why aren't they at least trying to sell the studios off? Like, they're just taking it on the chin as a loss. Like, I wish what happened, what said the exact same thing. I said, I think Microsoft had something to do with this, where they're like, 1900 was bad enough, right? Where they're just like, okay, you guys want to go independent? Yeah. All right. It's better for everybody. They don't lose any more jobs. Xbox saves face by not having more bad PR and egg on their face. Like, it's a win-win. And knowing that Microsoft keeps the IP, which I have no doubt that they did. Right. And then you, as Toys for Bob, you say you're partnering with Microsoft, which I saw a lot of people saying, they only said it was like a possibility of partnering. Make no mistake, there's a partnership. You know why? Because they don't have any of those IP. They're starting from scratch. They have to build something from the ground up. They need the relationship with Microsoft to get that bag. You know what I mean? Because now they're all on their own. So, and good luck to them. I really hope they make some great platformers, and they will be on Game Pass. Yep. So at least that's
I saw a lot of people like being really upset. Like, they'll still be making games. Like, if you like Crash, you'll still get Crash. If you like Spyro, you possibly still get, like, you'll still possibly get these games. Like, they didn't close the studio. Like, don't be upset. Like, people were very upset about this whole thing, but geez,
I mean, to your point earlier, it's either that or they could literally they could be gone altogether. Like, what would you rather have happen? Obviously, I think we'd like to see them.
Yeah, 100%.
Who is this? Fuck you! Did you make another damn account? Oh man!
What? Read that name, RHETRI. What is that?
Why you make me read this shit? All right,
because I love you.
Spread those cheeks. They double banged you. hey, RHETRI. Why don't call me out? Hey, RHETRI. I know it's you. I know who it is. I have a good feeling I know who they did that. Spartan661 with the $5 super chat says they can make Road Rash a type of GTA motorcycle gang gang/club game and make poker runs with a jackpot at the end of the race. Better weapons, gear, bikes? ? There you go, Spartan. Already coming up with good ideas for what they can accomplish over there at Toys for Bob. Tate Talks. Did you want me to read this one?
Yeah, he has a good point there too, I thought.
So from a financial perspective, it likely makes sense. My question is, though, is Microsoft really still looking at these legacy IPs? Great question. The reason Kotick didn't use them was because they didn't make money. That's a fantastic question that he brings up. Everyone, we were so excited about all these, the catalog from ABK. And the older IPs coming back, just like we see Sega doing now. They're taking a page out of Capcom's book and going, let's bring back all the old games. Let's try to let's have a comeback here. I don't know, Viking. What do you think about?
They need to do what Sega has done. So Sega, a lot of kids know about Sonic because probably the movie now.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
Because I'm gonna be honest, they weren't really interested in the games. Right, they were interested in seeing a movie with a funny blue hedgehog, right? That was on there. So, like, I don't understand why they can't do the same thing for some of these older IPs. Make a Spyro movie, make a Crash movie, license those out to movie studios and let them do their thing, or have like a Netflix series or whatnot on those things to bring the excitement up for these kids. That way you can throw it in mobile, and then you can throw it in to Game Pass or on PlayStation or whatever, you know what I mean, to get the name recognition out there. My kids don't know what the hell Spyro is, you know what I mean, like they don't.
You're right.
Yeah.
It makes me sad because we're old, but yeah, it's a true story.
Welcome.
Forte, what's going on, brother? Welcome.
Listen, I owe y'all.
No, it's all right, man.
Dude,
No. I owe y'all because listen, normally on Sundays I work by myself because it's not that busy.
Yeah.
And I knew we were going to be out of Final Fantasies because it's Final Fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that the K-Pot, the Korean restaurant down the literally in my plaza, they were doing today was their 1-year anniversary, and they were doing buy 2 plates, get 1 half off.
Wow, that killed you.
So the wait time was like 45 minutes to an hour and a half. So of course, what are people gonna do? They're gonna walk through the plaza. And I had at one point, I swear to God, I had like 30 something people in the store. And I'm sitting there like, yo. So we closed at 7:00 Eastern today. Usually I was saying I only live 5 minutes from my house. So I was like, I'll get home around 7:30. Nope. I literally didn't walk out my store until 8:25 because my store was in shambles. It was like kids stepping on over stuff. And I'm sitting there like, and then the thing is, I got a VP visit on Tuesday, and I'm oh my God,
man, you gotta get all the candy off the floor. Thanks, kids. Yeah,
man, listen, man, I will never schedule myself on a Sunday ever again by myself. Trying to give my people an extra day off during the weekend.
Yeah,
that was nice of you.
Myself.
But I was nice of you.
Yeah. Listen, I was listening to y'all, and I was like, literally, I didn't even notice that you had sent the message and stuff, and I was sitting there like, let me hurry just get home because I feel bad now.
No. But no,
I feel bad. Life happens. You got to make.
We definitely want to have you back on. So you're good. Sure. So.
Oh no, I'm gonna be back on no matter what. Yeah, I owe you now.
Yeah.
I'm in debt.
You remember, mark that down, RHETRI. He owes us.
Yeah, he said it. Clip it. Yeah. You're good, Forte. Life happens, man. So I'll get your take on this, Forte. We were just talking about all of these studios going independent. So you got Toys for Bob. You got Saber Interactive paying themselves out from Embracer with $500 million deal, and we are also hearing that developer Gearbox is in the process of being sold by Embracer Group themselves. So what's your whole take on Toys for Bob going independent. Do you think this is like a negative for Xbox, or Saber Interactive like buying themselves out to get away from a Bracer, which I don't blame them for doing?
Right.
What's your whole take on all these studios going independent, I guess?
I guess the only negative one is the fact that Randy Pitchford would still be with Gearbox. It would be great. It would be great if Randy Pitchford wasn't going with them.
Yeah. Like we lost Randy on the way over here.
Yeah, we lost Randy on the way out. Sorry. Yeah. But that's like no, but I mean, these are all good things, you know, developers getting a chance to. The one with Xbox is interesting because I see a lot of different or hear a lot of different things about it. Some people like the fact that Xbox just let them out basically without closing the studio, because that's a lot better than, you know, laying
the
people off.
Right. Absolutely.
Because I do think that's probably part of it, that they looked at it as that's 170, 180 people studio. Can you just imagine that's enough? Instead of it being 1,900 layoffs, it would have been 2,000. And trust me, 1,900 sounds way better than 2,100. You know,
we were just saying that too, Forte.
Yeah. So I think that was kind of part of it. I think a lot of people. The one thing I will say is, it sucks because we really didn't get a chance to see what the studio was going to be able to create on their own. You know, they've been under the Call of Duty factory for like the last 7 years. And they are giving up a really good, they still have the IPs, but man, from 2011 to 2016, Skyliners was a thing. And that studio was at the forefront of it. So that was one thing that they kind of going to be missing out on if they ever decided to bring something like that back. But the fact that they're still going to be working with them, you know, Xbox is probably going to have the right to refusal for anything that they make for their first couple of titles. I would think it's kind of akin to what happened with Bungie back in 2007, where Bungie was like, hey, we want to be done. And Xbox was like, okay, well, we're keeping all your IP and you got to make these next 2 games for us. So it was really interesting to see that they said that they were still partnering. They were like in the process of partnering with them. And I said, when you say you're in the process, that means you probably have some type of contractual obligation to make something with Xbox for your freedom to be able to be independent on your own. So that's a win-win for the studio. They want to do something else. They don't want to keep doing Call of Duty games, and Xbox don't want to fire anybody anymore. So that was an open thing. Now the Embracer's about to be no more very soon. I don't think Embracer is not going to.
That is the Titanic. The band is playing. Jump the fuck off.
Literally. And guess what? And the only difference is at the very end, the band is going to be like, let's keep playing while the ship is going down. They're going to be like, where's the closest lifeboat so I can get on it too? Yeah. So, that's what's going on with Embracer. So nobody's really surprised about the moves at Embracer. It just, you know, I will say this will open up. Yeah, exactly. I think this will open up. It will open up a conversation on other studios, though. Like, you know, there's rumors of other studios that kind of want out of deals and stuff like that. And, you know, once you show the power that you let one out, you kind of open the gate and open the doors for other studios that kind of want to do it. I think it's going to be, if you do it for Xbox, it's probably going to be more of the studios that were acquired through publishers. I don't think it's going to be any studio that was purchased outright under Xbox Game Studios. So
I'm with you. Definitely.
I think, you know, there might be one, or it might be one for Bethesda. There might be another ABK one that's in the looks for trying to like become, you know, independent, but I don't think it's going to be a trend. I just think right now this is like the alternative other than letting people go. And I'm all about saying, hey, if we're not going to keep you, what is your value to us? Okay, Game Pass is still a thing. We still want to get as much content in there. If you can put games in there and basically guarantee or whatever those contracts are saying they could do, then it's in the best interest of them to say, you're already pretty much, because, you know, Xbox already funded that studio for probably the next year. So whatever they make is going to be exclusive to probably Xbox. And then hopefully it does well for them, because then once that's over, they can go off on their own and do whatever they want to do.
Yeah, I could definitely another theory that went around too, and I agree with a lot of what you just said, Forte. I think there was kind of like multiple things going on here, and I think it helps Xbox save face because I think they might have been gone anyways.
Right.
Is that it makes Xbox look good going the whole third party route that maybe Toys for Bob, all their games will be third party, and if they're outside of Xbox, it's like, well, Xbox didn't technically do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they did. Toys for Bob did it. So I don't know. There's a lot of different theories going on here, but I think this for an Xbox guy and for people in this ecosystem. The good news is people didn't lose their jobs, and it sounds like you're still going to get all those games, most likely also in Game Pass as well. So
yes, sir.
It feels like a win, like it's a win-win-win. Like we're seeing like EA just dump a bunch of people. We saw what happened with Time Splitters, all these layoffs that happen at ABK. If this is an alternative, I'll take it every single time. You know what I mean?
The only thing that seems weird to me on this is that you just spent $70 billion, and this is part of your assets that you get.
Sure.
And then you just let them go. I mean, there's definitely got to be some contractual obligations that are still they're locked in. Somehow they didn't just like.
Oh, I think they're locked in.
Yeah.
I agree.
There's got to be some kind of.
It's
commitment.
It's Microsoft. They're not your friends, right? Like it's a corporation. They're not like we're the good guys. We're Microsoft. We get good PR. We're one of the best companies to work for. Yeah, you can leave because there's no way. Yeah, I agree with you, Dave. There's no way. There's no contract because like. So Forte was saying earlier, like, I don't think this is going to happen either. I don't think there's going to be a mass exodus of a bunch of other independent studios that are like, can we also leave? Xbox will be like, no, go fuck yourself. You get back to work. You know what I mean? That's not happening. Back in the closet, eat your bread, drink your water, and work. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I agree with you, Dave. I think there's something there. It is weird. Yeah, like the weirdest thing to me, like I said earlier, was that Microsoft didn't address it at all. That's a little odd. That's why my red conspiracy theory and the red flags go up, and I'm like, why didn't they say like good luck on your journey? Thanks for being here, but crickets. A little
because they're still here.
Yeah, that's right.
They haven't left.
You're still
yet.
in the building. You don't want to say bye when you're literally still in the building. It is a little awkward, I guess. With that,
right?
Yeah. Mash again, dude. Gifting so 10 memberships again, dude. Super appreciate you, man. Way too generous. Thank you so much for that.
I was one of the winners.
I'm a winner. There you go.
But don't forget that everybody that get the gifted membership to thank him for sure, and also you now can access all these cool emojis in your conversations. So if you do have emojis available to you
I love how Viking, that's the first one he uses.
Yep.
And TTS,
it does stay out.
We put that in that is for our friends from TTS, which is Dirt Griggity and of course Shaun. We love those guys. Absolutely love those guys.
A salt mine?
What?
Yeah.
It's a tinfoil hat.
Oh, okay.
I was like, either.
I was like, I love you guys. Look at that. We got Salt. We got TTS.
I don't think we have any. I don't think there's any ponies in there. We're trying to talk that shit. Is like it's
good.
more
That's
vague.
good.
Like you can talk shit about anything.
That's right. That's good.
And Viking, I promise the next time you're on Viking, I'm gonna have a Viking helmet in there.
Yeah, we can have a Viking helmet for sure.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, we'll do that.
We do like to do those temporary ones for sure when we have our podcast people on for sure. Dirt the best. Abdel says Dirt the best podcaster in the space. We needed he says we needed that echo chamber. Yeah, so some of these Xbox guys were thirsty for that echo chamber. I love it. Absolutely. But let's see what else we got here. Talos saying Time Splitter was a cool game back in the day. Absolutely. RMP to Time Splitters. It's pretty radical. I feel so bad for those guys. But I don't have too much more, Dave. I know you wanted to get out of here within a 2 hour
we're cool.
time frame.
Yeah, well, actually, there's a few more things we could talk about. We'll go a little longer because I feel Forte just got here, and I don't want to give him some chance to talk some shit, give him some bars. Not rush home for like, oh hey, bye. So
no, you're good.
But we definitely he probably didn't have dinner yet. But there is one thing I definitely want to kind of throw up there real quick for sure, and then we can go wherever you want to.
Well, I'm running out of topics, so if
you have a few more in the chamber. I saw them. I got the list right there in front of me.
Yeah.
But this one is one that actually I added to the thumbnail, and I think it's we're talking about some good positive news, as it were.
Yeah.
And I think that this is
some positive news.
Is going to be really it's going to be big right there.
Oh, the mobile. Yeah.
Dude, I mean,
over 50 million players have already pre-registered. That is insane amount of just money that is going to be
coming soon.
Listen, I knew this was probably going to be a hit. I was like, Call of Duty Mobile, it's going to be a hit. But then once they started talking about your progress transferring over to, I was like, yo, this might go off, like for real. Like, especially if you could start incentivizing, like you can only get this weapon skin on Call of Duty Mobile, but it shows up in you're on your PlayStation or Xbox or PC. You know what I mean? Like this could go crazy. Absolutely crazy. And shit, this is gonna hurt PlayStation even more, because when people start doing microtransactions in Call of Duty Mobile, that PlayStation store ain't gonna get none of it.
And where's that money go?
Man. It's going to Microsoft.
Listen,
into the coffers.
Microsoft about to have a very, very profitable fourth quarter. It's coming out right. It's coming out just in enough time, halfway through their third quarter. Their fourth quarter ends in June. Oh man, it's about to be.
Out of those 1,900 layoffs, exactly 0 came from mobile. I'm just saying, they are not fucking with that like money making machine. So it's just it's insane to me. I'm a console gamer. I'm a PC gamer. The mobile stuff, I'm trying to give it a chance. I am. I tried to play some of the stuff. It's not necessary for me. I don't like the controls on the screen. I'm okay with if it's not on the screen and I have like a controller to control that stuff. But when it blocks half the screen, it drives me fucking insane. But I'm in the minority. Most people clearly don't give a shit. And good for them, man. Like
with those visible thumbsticks, man.
Ain't
for me, but I know people that like it.
I bought a Razer
the Keisha.
The Kishi. Yeah.
Listen,
Kishi,
I feel
makes it
like
much better.
I feel like a god when I'm in those lobbies, bro. Like I'll be clapping people up.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
I should get a Kishi. It's actually in my Amazon. I just been waiting for a sale on it, and it does go on sale all the time. I'm just being cheap. I just haven't bought it.
Yeah.
But I just got to get one of those.
And it works really good with anything that you're doing on Xbox game, the cloud or anything.
Or
like that.
does it Black Viking? Because apparently, according to DF, it's shit. But
they can fuck off. Like
they can.
Works good.
I don't know. Like I haven't messed around with the cloud for a while. I usually only use it to like preview games, just to be like, is this worth downloading? I play it for 5 minutes, and if I like it, then I'll download the full game. But
you know what? You said you have it in your wish list on Amazon, right?
Yeah.
I always wondered this because I always thought of the wish list as the list of games or items that you wanted people to buy you. And there's and there's the save, and there's a save for later list.
Yeah,
that's what I always like, because some websites have the list where it says save for later and it puts it like as a thing that you can save for later. But when I always looked at the wish list, I always looked at the wish list as like, hey, who's gonna buy this for me?
Who's gonna buy this shit for me? I'm cheap, but I'm not that asshole.
Yeah,
I'm not that pretty, Forte. No one's buying me anything.
I don't think anybody goes into it, because I think everybody uses it as like you're using it, something you just save for later.
I have a ton of them. like a list.
But it's always been because I always hear people on Steam when they put a game in their wish list, and then people say, "Oh, I bought this. Oh, such and such bought a game off my wish list." I say, "Oh, cool. That's what it's for."
Yeah,
it's I wish you buy me this game.
Yeah. And just so everybody knows that we're now going to let Forte is going to post in the chat his wish list.
His list,
and as well as Viking their wish list. So if anybody wants to get them a gift, you go right ahead. So
I do have that Xbox wish list that was wiped and luckily is now back. So there's
thank goodness.
It didn't come back for everybody though. I had some people reach out to me that theirs is still messed up for whatever reason, but hopefully maybe it's back for them now.
I do have a question for you. Why do y'all? So I didn't realize this until I got to work today. PlayStation released the Spider-Man bundle. They finally did it digital because it wasn't digital before. Right. They have a physical copy now too, which they already had. But they dropped the price of that thing $50. But the regular PlayStation is still regular price. But all
the bundles cheaper.
But all the bundles are cheaper. Like,
dude, I see that on Xbox actually a lot. I'll see I don't understand it. I'll go and find the single something like a Dying Light. I'll see a single game for it is more expensive than bundles, and I've seen a ton of them. And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. But what's the bundle for Spider-Man? Is it? Are you talking like a 1-2 Miles Morales? Like what?
No, it's in the bundle. Spider-Man 2. It's Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, that type of a bundle. Oh, I see what you're saying.
They're probably short of the. I think once they reach their
that goal. Of that goal they got to hit? Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
They got to get the extra $4 million that they were trying to hit.
That's what I was thinking too. Because why would you? Because you could just drop that system out there full price and people will buy it because it comes with a game. But if you're really trying to entice people to buy that bundle in particular, drop it by $50. And make it and leave your regular system at regular price. Because when I saw that, I was like, man, are they doing this because we all know it so well, but we still haven't heard number. Think about it. They haven't came out and gave us numbers on Spider-Man, how well it's did.
That's because and they would. It's because internally they're not satisfied with those numbers because Sony does not. They love to tout their numbers as they should when something. I mean, I would, if my numbers are good, I'm going to talk. If my numbers are bad, crickets, or not at least up to my expectations.
Oh man, that might be my Monday video.
And I wonder what the numbers are for bundle versus individually purchased because some people don't give a shit. Like I want the system. This is the better deal. Let me buy it. I don't care about this game, but I'm gonna buy it because I get the system for cheaper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or it's just better value in general. Like, I get a free game.
Right? I sold every copy of the PlayStation because I sold like five of them today, and every last one that I sold. They didn't ask for Spider-Man. I just sold them that one. I was like, dude, it's $50 cheaper. I'm not about to charge you $50 more.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, as much as I want more money from you, I say, hey, that $50 you're saving, hey, buy an extra controller with it.
Right. 100%. Yeah.
So it's interesting when I saw that. So that I was thinking the same thing about the whole not hitting the goal.
Yeah,
that might be the reason they're doing it. Yeah, that's interesting.
Makes sense. They want to hit it. They want to hit it somehow, right? They got the shareholders to appease. So,
and think about it. The crazy thing is, what was the breakdown of the bundle? The bundle was like, wasn't it like a 60%? 50%? Yeah. So you're talking about $25 going to Disney?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so. Man.
Crazy amount of money. Yeah,
they just
for Disney,
I guess. Hey, I guess, but that's the thing, though. It lets you know how important Spider-Man is to them. For them to sit there and say take that massive of a hit on top of dropping it $50 in price, knowing that 50% of the revenue that they make off of that goes somewhere else.
Right.
That's how important Spider-Man is to them.
It's nuts.
It is
trying to see Spider-Man as a marketing thing just to get people in the ecosystem.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, and I think that's part of it.
Money. Not even to make money, just marketing as far as buy this system.
A loss leader. There's nothing wrong with a loss leader. If you're breaking even, but you're still getting people in the ecosystem to buy everything else, all your other software, which clearly they're not doing. But anyways, and at least that's the point of doing it, I think. But yeah,
a lot of people saying they announced 10 million sold. Last number.
Oh, that was in their quarterly report.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think it was. Yeah.
I think it was. Well, all I remember from that quarterly report is down $10 billion to your stock price.
It's hard not to.
That's the only thing I remember. $10 billion off of it, man.
Yeah.
Can we imagine your stock dropping $10 billion in 2 seconds?
Oh man. Can I? You know what was crazy about the Sony layoffs is. Typically, every single time a company does layoffs, what happens to their stock price?
It usually goes up because the shareholders are happy they're going to be getting more money.
Sony did this. They was like, "No, we don't believe you, fam." Like it just went. It was like, "Nah, we need to see some more reports of that ROI, man, because 6% is kind of spooky."
Yeah, most definitely. So one thing I want to throw up here is there's a little word called hypocrisy.
Oh.
Have you seen these articles?
Yeah.
You know, so
I read the Game Rant one. Yeah.
Oh my God. Mm-hmm. So
the lack of first party. Yeah.
They're dying. It's the world, forget them, death to Xbox, blah, blah, blah. And then it happens to PlayStation, and it's like, oh, that's okay if this is going to be.
We all remember 2022, right, Dave? The astronomical amounts of articles that came out, like the Game Rant one that just came out talking about PlayStation's lack of first party and how it's a blessing in disguise. And I was fucking rolling my eyes. The entire article. Because they were basically basing it off of them saying that they're not giving you any games this year because they're holding back because Sony's got some like magical thing, almost like when we were talking about earlier, the Microsoft, the up-res technology that's happening. So they were kind of trying to say like that Sony's got something in their pocket to make all these games that aren't really that great or haven't been that great because nothing really has been like next gen for the PS5. That's what they're saying. That's not what I'm saying. But they're saying nothing has really been revolutionary like the old systems were, and that they got some secret sauce coming up, but they're going to hold back these games for a whole year and have nothing for 14, 16 months, however long it is, so they can give you that awesome experience in 2025. I was
What about me having a system in 2024 though?
That's my point exactly, Forte. Yeah. That's why this
feels
like
How if I don't like Final Fantasy? I love Final Fantasy, by the way. The game's great. But how if I don't like Final Fantasy? How if I didn't play Spider-Man? How if I'm one of the few people out there that didn't like Spider-Man and that was the only first party game? How if I'm a single player gamer and didn't like Helldivers? So what else?
Well, here's where this theory gets completely blown to shit instantaneously. If that's the case, then why didn't they just wait for Final Fantasy Rebirth to get this awesome magic so it wouldn't be running at 30 frames a second? Oops.
Heyo.
Like
that
literally,
was a Square Enix decision, sir.
Right. Well, fair enough. Okay. Square makes so many bad decisions. I lost count.
We just paid for exclusivity. We have nothing to do with the fact that the game doesn't run like it should run on our system.
Oh man, I don't know. It just felt like just more of the same bullshit from the media. And I do believe in a little bit of the bias, because I think Sony will cut your throat. They'll take that money away from you.
Yeah, they will.
Because they're a different company. They can do that where Microsoft really can't do that. But I read this thing, I was like, holy fuck, this whole article is just coping for just backing up PlayStation when you then have no first party games. And I know that's a controversial thing to say because of Helldivers. So I don't know where people land on the whole, is Helldivers technically first party? Because, it's Flight Sim first party, is Towerborn first party for Microsoft? I don't know, but we're talking like first party, like they're, you know what I'm saying? They're like
the dynamic of first
the
party.
dynamic of versus second party and that whole thing.
So first party, the fact that you got to
it's so messy,
strain your brain to do it. So yes, Helldivers is first party because it's first party. It's a first party game published by Sony, who is the publisher of the game, but it's made by a third party studio.
Right.
Or second party studio.
Which is what we used to call back in the day second party. And people hate when you say that.
Which is the same thing that Flight Sim is because Flight Sim is a first party title developed by a third party, published by Microsoft. But we all know Asobo should be purchased by now.
Yeah, 100% Forte, 100%. Absolutely.
That's like the worst thing in the world. That's the ones. Like if anybody ever asks you who's the next studio Xbox should go after, Asobo.
Because it's obvious. It seems obvious. I've been saying Asobo for a long time, but it's just like pull the Band-Aid off already. Just like back in the day, like everyone's like, Sony, can you just buy fucking Square already and just do it, you know what I mean? But you know, Square's in a different situation now.
Square going full third party, like
Well, they will have. Then they can like combine, and basically neither side will love the fact that their games don't sell as much as they should feel like they should sell. I do find it real interesting that PlayStation is much hype that PlayStation games get. Like especially their tentpole ones. God of War was 20. Well, God of War 2018 was 20 million. Spider-Man came close to that, but that's an icon because that transcends gaming in general.
Right.
So if you just think about God of War as the one that came the closest, then I think Last of Us, the first Last of Us remake came close to it too. It's real interesting that those games don't sell as much as you would think they would. Like you think PS4 120 million consoles, but God of War 20 million of that. And this is why I always try to tell people, like they say, oh, exclusives matter. I said, yes, they do matter. They matter for 20 to 30% of the player base. Guess what? Everybody else wants to play Call of Duty and Madden and NBA and Grand Theft Auto and all. And this is going to be the real.
Yeah.
And you know what the interesting thing is going to be? Because right now you haven't seen the majority of the player base move on from PS4 and Xbox One. The majority of the gamers are still over there. Usually Call of Duty is the first thing that moves that, but I don't know when Xbox now is going to pull the plug on last gen. And Madden and NBA are still making cross-gen games. I think next year is going to be the year that you're going to see a balloon in next gen titles being purchased because of one title. We already know Grand Theft Auto is only next gen.
Yeah.
And when that game comes out, we will truly see what system sells the most, because at that point people are going to be making decisions off of this is why I hope Xbox puts the value proposition for Game Pass and really promotes it around that time, because are you going to buy Grand Theft Auto on a PlayStation where all of your games that you have to buy going forward are $70 or $60 or whatever that price point is going to be? Or are you going to buy an Xbox and play the same game, but have the ability to subsidize the cost of your games by having something like Game Pass? So I really hope Xbox really promotes it, because being a person that's in retail, I don't see enough promotion of that. You need to really talk about that, because I believe next year when Grand Theft Auto comes out, a lot of people that aren't really tied to a console ecosystem, they're going to make that jump then. And if you can kind of convince them hey, all of these games that you're playing, Call of Duty, when it comes out on our platform and everything, you're going to be able to play it day one in Game Pass for a low price. I think that should be the conversation going into next year, because that's going to move a lot of systems when it comes out.
I'm a play devil's advocate.
Go ahead.
I don't think that it would, no matter the amount of marketing you put on Game Pass, if PlayStation has the marketing rights for GTA 6.
Oh, well, that's out the window.
It's a wrap.
It's out the window, because they're not even going to let you know it's coming on Xbox at all.
Right. No. It is
just like
wrap.
Everyone thought Hogwarts Legacy was a PlayStation game.
Because what if Microsoft got the marketing rights?
I'm paying $1 billion for that marketing right. How much was the development of your game? What, $1 billion? 1.1 bill? Okay, that's how much we'll pay for the marketing.
That's true. I mean, you can take it. That's GTA is a perfect example of where I say take the loss leader. Who gives a shit? Yeah. Take it on the chin. Fuck it.
Can you imagine? There'll be Xboxes and whatever new thing that Sarah Bond was talking about coming out during the holiday. If there is some new type of incarnation of the console or whatever that comes out, whatever comes out, if you see a box that has half Call of Duty, included
with the
with
Roman
Game Pass
numeral on it.
Yeah, with 3 months of Game Pass, and then on the other side saying, also, don't forget to play Grand Theft Auto, and here's
Gulf
such
War
and such
and Grand Theft Auto.
Little starter little starter gold things they give you, like they sell now, right? Like so you can buy stuff in game. Include
shark cards,
include a small shark card in that box too, dude. Game over.
You get monthly shark cards with Game Pass subscription.
There you go.
Do one of the little perk right there. Yeah. Jesus, that would. I don't think they'll do it, but I think they should. Just saying.
No, this thing needs to be clipped out and sent to Phil. Hello.
Yeah.
That's good.
Hey, Phil.
Good, Phil.
Hey, Phil. Hi. Forte says hi. Black Viking says hi. RHETRI says hi.
Hi, Sarah.
Do it.
I love you.
Since we're on the topic of I can say that because
my wife's not here.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I mentioned this when Post Up was on our show. About, and I don't know if I talked to y'all. I talked to so many people about this. I think it's fucking brilliant. Not the next Call of Duty, but the one after that, whenever you're announcing your new hardware, your next gen hardware, you have it bundled with, and hear me out, because it doesn't break any parity within the console, because parity is only for the same gen. We're on Gen 9, right?
Yep.
Okay. Gen 10 comes out and it's only Xbox. And you have the only next gen Call of Duty on Gen 10, but you still release it on Gen 9, right? So you're not breaking parity between Gen 9 with the PS5.
Oh, are you saying that?
I knew you were going here. I knew you were doing this.
We keep the obligation of putting it on PlayStation, but we ain't gonna give it to you on the next gen console.
You get old parity, not new parity.
because there's no PlayStation 6 out yet.
Oh no!
And there won't be, according to King David. #no PSX.
Oh no!
Could you imagine all the people? Because that's the best. That'll be the best place to play. Is that one? You know what I mean? They could
kind of like what happened with Minecraft a little bit in that scenario a little bit, where they didn't get.
That's why
they got the PS4 version.
Well, that's why I also think that Xbox needs to get to market before PlayStation does with their next gen console.
I agree.
Yeah, I've always felt like that was because the biggest thing. And let's be, I love Xbox, but we have to be a realist here. Xbox. Back in 2006, PlayStation has always been the market leader when it comes to like high-end console sales. Nintendo has always been there, but in 2005, there wasn't. PlayStation didn't come out with a system. First of all, it was too goddamn high, and people weren't paying that price. $600, which is crazy now compared to what we might get in the with the PlayStation 6 again or PlayStation Pro. But the thing is, a lot of people that love PlayStation back in 2005, they just wanted to get into next gen. They didn't want to play on PS2 anymore. Xbox 360, was the next gen thing. So a lot of people bought the Xbox 360 because it's the next gen thing.
Right.
And Xbox did a really good job in keeping those people for a long time. But that didn't mean that they weren't going to buy a PlayStation at some point. Because if you're a fan of something, you're going to buy it no matter when it finally comes out, when it's finally at the price point that you want it to be at. Yeah. So once PlayStation did drop their price, they started releasing games. All of those people that bought Xboxes that were PlayStation fans, they just bought their PlayStation at some point. The problem that Xbox had back then was they didn't continue making games that people wanted to play past 2011, because we all know first party fell off the freaking wagon after 2011. They lost all their studios. They closed a lot of those studios on top of that. And then we went into 2013 and we don't even want to talk about that no more. we just want to leave 2013 where it was. But I just think right now is a good time for them to say, hey, Call of Duty, once they get the marketing rights and all that stuff, because we still don't know what's happening with that towards, the end of this year. But once they finally can 100% say, we got the marketing rights, we can put this game in Game Pass, I feel like they need to just go forward and say, hey, let's get our system out here first, because we already know people are very, very anxious to get into a next-gen system.
Yeah,
that's a good way to get people in early, because you're not going to stop people from buying PlayStation. If they like PlayStation, they're going to buy it no matter what. You just need to find a way to have them have your system on top of that system when they finally do get it. And I think that's the only way forward for them when it comes to hardware, because hardware still matters, I believe, especially in the Game Pass number, because, I feel like mobile is going to definitely help that number. PC is still growing, but if you want to see that number really, really go up, the console has to be a part of it. And that's the only way I feel like they're going to be able to, I'm going to say withstand, because I think they're stronger than that. But I think PlayStation, if you allow them to keep operating the way they've been operating on a hardware front, and you wait till they come out, then you come out in conjunction with them, you're making people make a decision, and they're going to go with the thing that is more popular than anything else. So like Phil said,
or where they have their digital library already.
Well, this is the thing. Phil said this. He said, we lost the worst generation to lose. Absolutely, because that's when people started building their digital libraries. How do you get that back, though? You get it back by coming out first with a new gen, and you make people have FOMO. Like, hey, like you said, Call of Duty, next gen experience only on Xbox. Sure, you can play last gen on Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, or you can play on your PS5 or your PS5 Pro. But if you want, 120 frames per second, 4K ultra graphics and stuff like that, then you need to get the brand new box.
Yeah.
And that's how they
get
people in on that at that point.
To your point too, leapfrogging also helps you when it comes to third-party developers getting used to your tools and systems. So that when PlayStation does come out, they already know your system to optimize the games just as much as they would, right? So like whenever DF does their bullshit videos, they will be on track. No, I like DF sometimes, man. Like they I think they do some decent.
Yeah, I think they do good work.
Yeah.
Like I don't have a hate for DF like a lot of people do.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I was never a big fan of xCloud anyways, but it has its uses. And
did they not even mention that you have to do the cloud stream? Because the cloud has to stream from your PlayStation, correct? Whenever you do it on PlayStation, right? The PS Plus cloud streaming, it comes from your PlayStation, right?
No, just that's just remote play. Remote play is from your PlayStation.
Okay, so cloud doesn't use your PlayStation at all.
No.
Okay. All right, cool.
No, what it's using is Amazon servers.
Yeah, it's used AWS.
Which is a very good product, clearly. But it is what it is. We'll see.
Somebody tell me this. I had a person trade in a portal, a PlayStation Portal the other day. And that thing is nice. I held it in my hand. I was like, yo, this literally feels like a DualSense in your hand. Yeah. It feels good. It's like, to me, it's such a missed opportunity, because I feel like I don't care if as much as I wanted to be a native thing, but I feel like that thing should be an extension to your PlayStation as a controller on top of what it is now. Like, I was holding it sitting while he traded his PlayStation in, and he got a PC. He's traded his PlayStation in, he traded his Portal in, and I was resetting it while his PlayStation was resetting. And I was I was standing there, and I had the thing in my hand, and I was like, dog, this could have been an amazing controller just for your PlayStation.
Oh, is it touchscreen?
Yes.
Oh, so that like developers could have used your main screen while there's other shit happening on the screen. Yeah, that's
a secondary screen.
Yeah, that's a huge missed
I was
opportunity.
like, I was like, it could have. I mean, like, okay, granted, you don't want to make it a fully fledged console, like where you put games and download to it. But I'm sitting there like, okay, so it has the ability to stream or remote play anything that's on the screen. But it feels just like a DualSense in your hand. It literally does not feel any different than the controller that you use when you're playing on your PlayStation. It's just wider apart. And I'm like, dude, this whole 8-inch screen that we got on the front of this could be, I could imagine the menus for Spider-Man just being on this, and I could just touch whatever I want to do to upgrade without having to even look at the TV.
Right.
I was like, this is incredible. And it's the same price as your $200 Edge controller. So you could be like, this is the controller if you want to have an immersive interactive experience where you can control all of your stuff from the controller, or you can buy the Edge controller if you're an FPS person and you want to have, immersed gameplay when it comes to like the input method that you can use on the controller. I feel like they just missed the full opportunity by having two different ways. They can cater to both sides of the coin. The hyper competitive person and a person that just wants to play single player games, but give them a way and an option to be able to play their games better by interfacing with the screen on their controller than looking at the screen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. It would definitely a missed opportunity, and who knows, maybe that's kind of what they'll do if they do this a PlayStation Portable. Maybe they'll actually kind of market it after this. I don't know. I do want to give a big shout out to Dirt Griggity, who's joined us in the chat. Dirt, welcome.
Up, Dirt?
Sorry about microphone there popping a little bit, but Dirt, we talked about it tonight. I got to add new emoji, and I decided to add in honor of Dirt Griggity and Shaun. That's right. TTS is in there, and every time we do it, and we had so if anybody's a member, put in TTS to salute out to the one and only Dirt Griggity. We love you, Dirt. You are the man. Just saying. There you look at. There you go. Dirt. Oh my goodness. I guess we need to start kind of wrapping things up, guys. Look at all that Farcus in there burning it up. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Every time Dirk comes to visit me, at work, I feel like I'm in the house of royalty.
Heck yeah. I mean, he does get to open the door for him. I would love to be able to walk into your game stuff. That would be awesome. But
then every time he says something crazy, I said, but you bought a PlayStation. And then he said, yeah, you sold it to me. I was like,
they blamed you for that, right?
And then they blamed me for him having pony tendencies every once in a while.
Right? It's all Forte's fault. I love that.
So funny. Well, guys, man, thanks everybody for being here. Thanks everybody being in the chat. Thanks for oh my gosh, we had an amazing show tonight with an amazing panel. Oh my gosh, Gaming Forte, I'm so glad that you made it. And we will have you back on soon. Hopefully not tonight when there's a discount deal and food in the market in the area. And of course, the Black Viking, sir. Thank you so much for being here. I mean, look, this community is awesome. And you two, both of you, really make this a better community to be in. Both of you put out great content, great shows, and all the links and everything will be in the description of both. But we're going to go around the horn. Black Viking, we'll start with you. Please tell everybody where they can find you, when your show is on, and how they can reach out to you.
Yeah, man. We have a show, all three of us, me, Black Skellington, and Supernova, called the Longhouse podcast. It's on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. I think we're running a little early next Thursday, though, because we have the legendary King David on next Thursday. Nice. And Delilah HD from GWG podcast.
Yep.
So that's going to be a banger of a show. So I'm really excited. I'm really excited to have both of them on at the same time, which will be so good, man.
That's gonna be a spicy show, dude. I'm watching.
It's gonna be so good, man. Delilah's so cool, man. Like watching her on. She has such great.
We got to get her
takes.
on here too, Dave.
She's well experienced. Because she's senior designer at Microsoft with cloud and AI and stuff. So she knows what the fuck she's talking about. So it'd be really cool to have a conversation with her. And of course, the spiciness of King David. You know what I'm saying? Uncensored, which would be great. So yeah, man, y'all catch us at the Longhouse. It'll be fucking epic. Yeah.
Sounds great, man. Sounds great. And RHETRI or myself may reach out to you and be like, "How can we get a hold of her?" Just
okay, yeah, for sure.
Buddy. I'm just kidding. Gaming Forte, my friend, dude, please tell everybody where they can find you and what great podcast that you put out, as well as being on the Scumcast and you do with some amazing stuff with your partner there as well too. So please tell everybody about that.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Like I said, once again, sorry I wasn't here earlier, but
it's okay.
I owe you, and whenever you say I need you, I'm here. That's all that matters. I'm putting it out here, so can't nobody say clip it. Forte said he'll be here whenever he needs him. But no, this great show. Really appreciate it. Viking, awesome. Finally get a chance to sit down and meet you, brother. Cool to always meet new people. And that's the thing about this community. Just everybody, you don't know people until you sit down and you actually talk to them, and it's just having conversations. And we're all gamers in the end, and that's all that really truly matters, and it's fun. But for me, check out Gaming Forte. That's the YouTube channel. Xbox content, PlayStation. We talk about everything over there. It just depends on what's going on in gaming. DPS Podcast has his own channel now. Damage Per Second Podcast is the link. I do that with Slow Mo Backslap every Thursday, 9 p.m. with the homie. And
good dude.
It was definitely good dude. PC elitist to his heart, but I'm trying to bring him back. He's reluctantly playing on his PlayStation right now because Final Fantasy plays like ASS on there, but but I'm still enjoying playing over there. But with that, I really appreciate everybody. Shout out to you guys, and it was a great show.
Well, dude, thanks again for being here. And just a quick reminder that we are the show, when it's over, is going to automatically jump over and raid the Plume Network. So if you want to stick around for more, join Tony as he brings you the latest and greatest in gaming news. Plus, also he's going to have some hot takes as well tonight. So please stick around if you just still want to continue to more gaming. You don't want to do anything. You just got to sit there. And as soon as our show's done, it'll just automatically throw you over. And then if you're in this chat, make sure you let him know that you've been rated. That's nice. And of course, my partner, my friend, and I tell you, we couldn't do the show without him. RHETRI, please tell everybody where they can find you, sir.
Sure. Before that, Farq says to Forte, "You are allowed to say ass here." RHETRI says a lot worse. He's right. And Forte knows. Forte knows what's up.
my co-host has beaten all of the swear words out of me when we podcast. He said, "We're a family-only podcast." So I was like, okay. So no matter where I'm at, I think the only podcast I've ever swore on was Dirt's.
There you go.
Yeah,
and it's because Dirt was like, I had to convince him to put me on his show. I was like, Dirt, you never invited me. He's like, oh, I got to be very selective. I got to make sure that everybody, my show wait for everybody. I was like, bro, I know what your show about. I can talk just like everybody else.
Yep. Yeah.
There you 100%. Go. There you go. And our show, it's you're no longer at the kids' table.
Oh, well, there it is.
No, I swear a lot. I got like a trucker over here. You guys can find me Game Pass _daily on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, and Game Pass Daily on YouTube. I make Game Pass content over there. New show coming up March 16th. The Aim Down Sights podcast that'll be on my channel on Game Pass Daily. That is with Red Dead Panda and Next Gen Nero. We'll be doing that at 7 p.m. the same time that this show starts, except on Saturdays, because that's the only day we could do. because Panda lives in the future. So looking forward to that. Speaking of dirt, our first guest is actually going to be Dirt Griggy. So looking forward to chopping it up with him as always. We'll be talking that shit because that's what we do. So, but yeah, great show, guys. Thank you so much for coming out, Black Viking. Forte, I love you, brother, and I love that light bright background you got going on. It looks awesome. It's so cool. It's so cool, dude. Every time I see it, it just brings me back to my childhood. Light bright. I just, you know what I'm saying. Yeah. WebDave, thank you, sir. Chat, you guys were awesome tonight. You're on fire. Sorry we had to get a little rowdy earlier. We had to kick that asshole out, but keep it civil here, and we won't kick you out. But appreciate you guys. Love you all. So we'll see you next week, of course.
Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and please join us next week. Next week, we know one of our guests is going to be. Oh, whoops! I keep hitting that mic cord. I'm going to have to get a new cord.
At least one. We know.
Yep. We know Doom Cutie is going to be here, and of course, we never know who else is going to join us. So please join us next week on the Gamers Council. Thanks for joining us, guys. See ya.
Game over.
Game over.